to be talking with you again. Good to be another season here right now.
Always good to talk high school football. I don't know why my mic's not working.
I hear you loud and clear. Should we take it from the top?
You want to start it over? All right. Okay, go.
Good evening. You're listening to Lake Cumberland Sports Live. This is the Coaches Show at Wings and Rings here on South Highway 27 in Somerset. Adam Bray next to old partner in crime, Bob Boone. It's good to be talking football with you again.
Indeed it is, Adam. It is hard to believe Lake Cumberland Sports celebrating their 10th year of broadcasting sports here in the Lake Cumberland region. We cover all four schools. We've covered just quite a few sports. And if we had the resources, who knows? Maybe one day we'll do a tennis match or a swimming meet. But
Academic team, band
academic team.
anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
But Adam, Somerset last year, coming off a pretty good season. Coach Clay Clevenger, he's got his Somerset Briar Jumper program where he dreamt it would be when he was first hired 3 years ago.
Absolutely. And, it's kind of mirroring his ascent to success at Danville. Another 2A school, small city school with a great history who, when he took over, they were a little bit down. He took over and within several years had them in a state contender and then eventually won state championship. And that's kind of what he's eyeing. I mean, they were 11-2 last year. The same team for the last 4 years has put them out.
Yeah, when you're talking about Owensboro Catholic, who has just had a tremendous run. Good news if you're Somerset, you're not in there in the same semi-state, but still a tough road to hoe in 2A football. Always a tough class of high school football in Kentucky, and especially when you get into the postseason. Somerset this year, though, they're going to be without a guy that my last name especially.
Yes.
That
the last 7 years.
Jumper fans have heard for a long time, as Chris Hughes has graduated, moved on, and he is now down the road a little bit in Williamsburg. I see some video of him at University of the Cumberlands. But Somerset has a long history of replacing good football players. They seem to keep a pipeline rolling of excellent players, and that can be attributed to a good youth program and all of that.
For sure. I mean, they've just done a lot over the years. When I was in elementary school, we had PCYFL. That's really all that there was. There was no specific Somerset Youth Football League, but, since I've graduated, they've started that, and they really start them young, and you can tell that from Hopkins to Meese all the way to Somerset High School and beyond, they're becoming great college athletes and great young men.
Yeah, there was an 8th grade program, I believe, last year for Somerset that did very well, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a clean sweep for the state crown, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
So those players will be moving up. Of course, those 8th graders are freshmen. And occasionally you're going to get a couple freshmen that are going to play. And, of course, you and Coach Clevenger will talk about that and the rest of the team here. But you've been doing Somerset football now. This is going to be what? Fourth year. And in those 4 years, what have you seen that you just,
Might be my
really?
fifth year. I'm thinking
really?
now. But no, I've seen a lot of growth. I mean, because when I first got here, it was 2022. So I guess if you count, this is the fifth new year. The first year that I called it was Coach Lucas's last season.
Yeah.
So then the next year was the nexus of the Clevenger era. In 2022, we did a lot of games together. Robert and I did some games together. But that's when we kind of saw them climb back a little bit. Because in 2021, the program had bottomed out. They were 2-9 with really one win as a forfeit. The other win was a district win that they got. But then the next year, in 2022, they really built it up. And, of course, now Coach Clevenger takes over in 23, and I think you've seen an increase in the competitive fire that they've had year after year.
Yeah, and let's be, make sure we're clear that none of that was attributed really to Coach Lucas. He got sick. It made it really tough. And
Exactly.
Coach Lucas, unlike a lot of coaches, he's got a state, he
Exactly.
brought home a state championship. So that's that's something that not many coaches can claim.
Oh, for sure.
Then they just hit a couple of down years personnel-wise. And
COVID, there was a lot of things out of their
A lot
control.
of weird things happening, absolutely. Yeah, we're not going to do COVID again.
Absolutely not. Nothing like that ever again, hopefully. But yeah, so the Clevenger era, I mean, it really has, I think, year after year, has shown just players buying in more and more, the coaching staff buying in more and more, and real talent development. And it's been exciting to watch, these kids go from Meese to now they're playing on Friday nights. And even as freshmen and sophomores, they're contributing from the word go.
Somerset, a beautiful facility. Of course, you're going to be there on Saturday.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's a Saturday game. So we actually have 2 video games on Lake Cumberland Sports this opening week as the season will kick off Friday night as I'll be with Pulaski County Maroons and over at PC Field, and then that game will be a video broadcast, and then we'll turn around and go right back to Clark Field. So looks like Coach Clevenger has arrived. I'm going to hand over this headset to him, and okay. Come on in here, Coach. And
Bob,
I'm going to step out and let you do your job.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And
Does he need to be over here? Or you were wanting him over here, right? Oh, we're switching? Okay, got it. Sorry. Coach, it's good to talk to you. You
Yeah.
sound like you've been a busy man. Getting work.
Finishing practice about
For
30
sure.
minutes ago. So.
Golly, yeah, definitely been a busy man. So, obviously, the first thing is first. This off season, coming off of the Owensboro Catholic game, I really think that the 2025 team showed a whole lot of heart and improvement throughout every week. No matter what adversity they faced, whether it was injuries or just anything happening, they fought through it, and they had a season to be proud of. So really proud of Team 119. What are some things you think that Team 120, is looking to build off of from that season?
I think just keeping a positive, spin on it, keeping momentum going. I think that's important in your program. And, I think, like you said, we lost our first game and our last game. We won 11, straight in between. And so a lot of positive momentum. Obviously, had a record-breaking season with Chris Hughes. And, all that drew a lot of excitement. Middle school teams winning state championships draws a lot of excitement. And so I think just the momentum of the program, you're wanting to try to capitalize on that and keep moving it forward.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we did mention Chris Hughes, and there's obviously some other seniors who were great contributors, some players that played all 4 years. So we can give them, their flowers. They definitely earned them. But going into 2026, new year, who are some of the guys who've really taken the reins of the locker room and just been the best leaders that this team needs right now?
Yeah, I think, we don't have a very big senior class. We only have 7 seniors right now. But we have, several of them that are 3- and 4-year starters. And, I look at Austin Lawless, and I feel like he's definitely taken on that leadership role, as a guy that just – and Austin's the atypical just guy that shows up to work every day. Doesn't say a whole lot, but is a true leader by example. But you've got John Reynolds is another one. He and Austin both are just really, just lead and work hard and work their tails off whatever we're doing. And so those guys would lead them by example. Corbin Samala is another guy. It's a 3-year starter, and Zasha Jones is a 4-year starter. So those guys we're going to rely on because of their experience. They've been through it. They've played in a lot of football games over the last 3 years for us, and so excited about them. But really, all of our senior lane pointers. Another guy, it's a 3-year starter on the offensive line. That's a senior that brings a lot of experience. Braden Morrow's a young man has been in our program and just kind of a role player, but is accepting of that and really works hard. And then, got a new young man coming in and joining us in Guy Turner that, has excellent leadership abilities as a quarterback, and looking for big things from him this year.
Yeah, all these names that you mentioned, I'm definitely looking forward to all of them. So many of them have contributed for years and years, and it's been fun to see them kind of grow and evolve throughout the years. And you mentioned, the linebacker tandem of Lawless and Reynolds. Those guys have been firecrackers since they set foot on Clark Field. So we'll go a little bit into them. I was watching the scrimmage, not the Beechwood one, but the one prior to that, where it was the joint scrimmage. They were going like 110% every snap. That's something that, kind of translates at practice as well, you think, for them?
It is. They've done that since they were freshmen.
Yep.
John, I can remember him as a 160-pound freshman, and next thing you know, he's starting the first game of his high school career because his motor just never stopped, and he got an injury and wasn't able to finish out that season. But same thing with Austin. I mean, you coming in as a new coach into a new program, you're not thinking about starting freshmen, but then you got these couple of kids that just have relentless motors, and you got to get them on the field. And so they've been like that now for us for 4 years, and we've moved Austin inside. He's been an outside linebacker for us the last 3, and moving him inside, to solidify that. Feel like running a 3-4 like we do. I always say it's kind of like a baseball team. You want to build it up the middle, and so Zaisha is going to be playing nose guard for us. I think will be a load in the middle at that position. Your 2 inside linebackers that we've already talked about with Austin and with John, and then free safety. You got Xavier Woolridge sitting back there. So I think being able to build that down the middle, is kind of what you want to build off of.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned Zaisha Jones, and also where you moved, Lawless to middle linebacker. It's kind of what happened with Zach Koger some years ago, where he was playing nose guard, and then he switched up to the middle linebacker slot, and he really transitioned greatly, I think. And hopefully the same thing can happen for Austin, man in the middle of the field. I think he could probably play safety or corner if he had to, just because he has that motor, but I think he's going to fit really well there in the middle. Now, the linemen that you mentioned, Morrow, Pointer, Jones, people around the state saying, Somerset's lost a lot of talent. They graduated some talent, but, it's a revolving door, and it seems like no matter how much talent graduates, there's somebody there. There's a next man up, and, we have a stacked offensive line still. How are they helping the other men on the line, you think, with their leadership right now?
Well, I think, defensive line, we took the biggest hit, but offensive line, we have a lot of, I moved to 4 years, to be 4-year starter in Zaisha. He's not even starting on offense right now. And so you have him as a 6-man up as an offensive lineman. But there's, Landon Huseman is our starting center, and he'll be a junior, but he's a 3-year starter for us. Christian Austin Brooks, our left tackle, is a sophomore, but he started every game for us last year. Lane Pointer is a 3-year starter at offensive guard. And then you have Dayton Coots, who started a lot for us last year, that's playing the other guard. And, then you got a talented freshman with a younger Lawless boy that's playing right tackle that's got tons and tons of upside. It's been well documented. So, and then we've had an injury. Gabe Wright's a young man, will be a sophomore that came into our program this spring and showed a lot of promise. He's been battling a little bit of a sore knee, but got him back and cleared this week, and so he'll help add some depth up front as well. So, I think offensive line-wise, we probably brought back as much of experience, as anywhere on the field, and so it's, I think that we need to be able to rely on that, early in the season.
Of course. And obviously, Corbin Samala's done a lot in the backfield, and you also got Jet Boyd. Is there anybody else as far as the backfield that's going to be shuffling in and out there? I know that we do have a transfer who's come in, and he's really filling a lot of roles there as well, running back, right?
Yeah, Darius Ridner came in. He's a young sophomore that's got a lot of potential, I think, and will be playing outside linebacker for us as well. But, Corbin, again, Corbin's been able to play a lot of different spots for us on offense. He played in our slot as a sophomore and was our leading receiver. Played running back last year and was our second leading rusher, and didn't catch a pass even though he was the leading receiver the year before. So he's a guy that I feel like we can move around and put in different spots. But he'll get a lot of touches at the running back, but then being able to put him out in formation, maybe lining up at tight end to get some pass threat there, just being able to try and be creative with that. So,
and the last thing I want to talk about specifically with the roster would be Guy Turner, obviously transferring from Paris. Great head on his shoulders. You said great leadership skills as well. Obviously super gifted athletically, can throw the ball a country mile. How do you think that he and the sophomore receivers as well as Corbin have gelled? Because obviously you got Decker and Woldridge on the outside. So how do you think they've gelled thus far?
They've put a lot of work in. He got here in the spring and went through spring practice with us, but they were out almost every day this summer, hanging out and throwing and doing things, which I think is important. Not around with coaches, just getting that rapport. So there's been a lot of that going on, and those guys seem to be gelling and meshing, and I feel like in the Beechwood scrimmage, we had one drop and 3 overthrows that could have all been touchdowns. And so if we clean that up and, if we hit 2 of the 4 right there, those are the explosive type plays that if you can get when you're able to run the football like we can, then, I feel like we're going to be an explosive offense.
For sure, yeah, definitely keeping the defense honest and everything like that. I got to, catch the, Elizabethtown and the Lexington Catholic scrimmage, and they were just Decker is the one I saw specifically who was going off that game. He could have had a hat trick. I think the last corner out he ran, a little bit, him and I weren't on the same page exactly, but he blew me away. He's definitely got that deep threat potential. Who are some younger guys, maybe even seniors or juniors, who have made a leap that maybe has kind of surprised, maybe not you, but maybe some of their teammates, and they're stepping into a role where it's like, okay.
Yeah, Ethan McChrystal is a young man that's playing outside receiver for us. That he's just a steady. He's one of these kids. You know exactly what you're going to get from him day in and day out, and he understands that. He's willing to go out and block and do those types of
the
things.
dirty work.
The dirty work,
Yep.
But he's a very capable receiver, and so I think as the season goes on, you're going to see him get more confidence, hopefully, and be able to make some plays. Jacoby Brashear is a young man that's going to be a sophomore that has a lot of upside. He's a good long body, got good speed, and so I think he's going to be able to, to be a playmaker for us, when given that opportunity. Channing Hudson's another young man at tight end that has really, really good hands. That hopefully we'll be able to get the ball to. I think it'll be hard to tackle once he gets his hands on it. So, and then Jet's a young man that's not real big, and so we're just going to try to move him around and utilize him offensively for his skill set.
Gadget guy almost. Okay.
Just good speed and get him on the edge and try to do some things. And he's also probably our best zone back. We've kind of morphed. My first year, Cam Hughes was a really, really good zone running back. Chris was a little bit more of what I would call a gap scheme runner. And so we kind of morphed from zone run to gap. So, it's going to be kind of, to see how we evolve this year. I think Corbin's a little bit more of a gap scheme type runner. I think Darius might be a little bit more of a zone type runner. And so can we handle being able to mix that up front and being able to be sound. So, so we'll see how that kind of evolves as the season goes on.
And that's one thing I've always noticed about you, even going back to your original coaching days, is that you definitely understand your roster that you have in front of you, and you understand the holes that certain guys can fill. That maybe this guy is between the tackles, this guy's outside. I don't think that even a lot of coaches in today's game really understand that. So that's something that is really, really good about yours and your staff's, the way you do things. Now, talking about a little bit more about the zone running scheme, that's something you got to have a lot of patience with, and kind of wait for that hole to come open and then you hit it. So, and you're saying that Jet Boyd is kind of the guy that's going to get those carries.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of fits into his strength. He's got a good burst, a good acceleration. I think Darius Ryder's kind of the same way, and so whereas Corbin, what we had with Chris, even, Xavier Woolridge, when we put him in the backfield, I think they're more downhill runners. Yep. And so gap scheme kind of fits their running style a little bit better.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit about the camp trip that you guys made. So I didn't get to see a whole lot about the media coverage from that. Where did that take place, and what did you guys learn over there?
What happens at camp stays at camp.
Oh,
right? Wow. We went out to Muhlenberg County. It was the Window H4 training facility. It's where they, they use it for a multitude. When we were out there, Kentucky State Police was out doing some training. There were some fire departments in there doing training. National Guard uses it for training purposes. So it's a multi-purpose facility. But they had a nice full-size turf field that we were able to utilize and practice. And then, probably more so, we got to do some teamwork, some leadership type stuff. With some of the drills and things that they would help put us through, whether it be the leadership course or whether it be, an obstacle course and some things like that. And so just trying to put them in a situation, get them out of their comfort zone, get them away from, social media and get them away from their phone and, just let them kind of dial in. And it was tough. I mean, they woke up at 5:30 in the morning and, they were drill sergeants, blowing the horn early in the morning and take them out, do a little PT with them, and then come in and eat breakfast and go maybe practice a little football and then come and eat lunch and then go do some more leadership stuff with some drill sergeants, with some military guys. And so it was, it was 5:30 in the morning till 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night, for 2 or 3 days of just kind of going at it and learning how hopefully to embrace the suck a little bit together.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it easier whenever, it's actually time to put the pads on, that's for sure. So with the younger kids coming to the roster, obviously Mies Middle ran the table, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, all won state championships. With those 8th graders transitioning into their freshman season, obviously the groundwork has been laid. What else is the roster and the coaching staff doing to help buy into the culture where, like, listen, you guys did great. Here you are as freshmen. It's time to keep that, culture going.
Yeah, I mean, I think, just keeping the numbers up. You always seem to lose a kid or two that you really don't want to in that transition between middle and high school, and trying to do everything you can to keep that from happening. And then, like you said, I mean, culture, going into my fourth year, now, Austin and John and those seniors, Aisha, they've had me for 4 years. I'm kind of the only coach that they know from the high school standpoint. And so it's the first year that this is the first group that's kind of taken hold of. And so, culture's big, and Robbie had a great culture with the program, and, just building on that, but it's a little different. And so, getting the kids to buy in and be excited about playing football and being excited about, embracing the grind of it. I think that's the hardest part for kids today is that, it's hard work. I mean, we're going at it 5 or 6 days a week right now, and, you're going at it 3 or 4 days a week, since January. And so just the grind of it, it's tough. But in order to be, play at the highest level, I feel like you have to be able to do that and do that with your program. And so kids have bought into that and continue to buy into it. And, I think the next progression is to see, we're still roster size right about 38 to 40. I'd love to see that number go 45 to 50. But, you don't want to lighten it down to where it's easy and so you get more kids. You want it to maintain that high level of work ethic and then get more and more kids to buy into that.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think now more than ever, it's harder to maintain those rosters. I mean, when I was in high school, it was nothing to have 50, something kids on the roster, but at the same time, a lot of them are just kind of goofing off, and maybe the practice isn't strenuous like it needs to be, or just whatever, or strenuous for no reason. Maybe you feel like you're not learning something, but I think that you guys are doing a great job kind of laying those groundworks, sowing the seeds, and making sure that, when they're going out there, it's basically like a job. It's a business. You're out there representing your school, your community, and what your coaches have taught you. Now, I see a lot of kids, alumni and current students at the field house, day rounds, alumni center, just like all the time, just getting in work, hanging out with each other, staying off social media, kind of like you mentioned. Who are some alumni who've just graduated that are kind of helping, maybe not directly with the program, but intermittently off campus?
Well, I think that there's a pride level just in general with being, in playing football for Somerset. There's a brotherhood, obviously, that's very well stated, and so I think you see a lot of that, and but it's good. I text in with Jake Bartley and Chris Hughes and Cam Alsop. They're all three, going through their first college camp, and they're saying, Coach, is great. I don't know if the practices are quite as hard as ours were in high school, but those types of things are good to be able for that word to come back to our kids and be like, hey, man, it's worth it. You're getting prepared in more ways than what you know. And
it's harder here than it is there.
Well, and you see, Bartley's already at second string left tackle, and Chris Hughes has already bumped up to third string, running back at Cumberland. And so, you get there, and hopefully you're prepared to where you can get on that field and be able to compete early at the college level. And so, I think, and that's what our middle school's been doing, right? I mean, we'll have at least one freshman starting this year, which will be every year I've been there, I've had at least one, and as many as 4 or 5 last year that freshmen were ready to play because they've been, well prepared at the middle school level, and then it goes on down to our youth football league, who's is, in my opinion, the best in the state. Is preparing the kids for the middle school level. So it's the program. It's building it, starting when they start playing football in kindergarten or first grade or whenever they do start, and having good coaches at those levels, and then it builds on up and, transitions into middle school, which transitions to us.
So right now you guys are stressing quality, of course, and, sometimes that means sacrificing quantity. Kids maybe just don't want to get out and all that stuff. But I think you guys, again, have the right direction there where it's like the kids that we're putting out, the pipeline that we have, they know they're getting a kid that's prepared, a kid that's going to come in and work hard. And you said they've already moved up on the depth charts as, true freshmen, which is also just incredible. So in regards to that talent development that I was talking about, what are some ways that the kids that are currently on the roster are going to make those major leaps that you think that you've already seen? Where it's like one to, I'm saying 50 in kind of like a season.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is just our off-season conditioning, our weight program. I'd like to think that, I put our weight program up with anybody, and how we train, and trying to, we're not training necessarily power lifters. We're trying to train athletes, trying to train guys into being more athletic. And so you don't know what a young man that might have looked like in a different type of training format, but I feel like right now we're a step faster than we were even last year.
Yep.
And so I think that's the name of the game, is playing fast, is speed, and so being able to train to be able to get guys faster and more explosive, is important. And so that's the development part. So while we might be at 40, I feel like the quality of our 40 has really grown over the last 2 or 3 years to where we can put almost anybody out there, and I have a lot of confidence. We'll play 33 or 34 starters when you count special teams. Maybe even, I haven't counted it up. Maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Out of a 40-man roster, there'll be and there was at one point last year we only had 34. All 34 kids were starting for a game, whether it be on a special team or something. And so I think that's the important part, is that you're building the kids that might have been a little bit lower on the depth chart, but they've been able to develop themselves physically to where they can get out on the field and compete. They might not be as good as the man in front of them on offense or defense, but we have enough confidence in throwing them out there for special teams and to do those jobs, which are just as important as anything.
And that's something I've definitely noticed in, your era of coaching, that the talent development is being taken very seriously. Now, more reps, it's good. It's better conditioning. More reps in practice, more reps on the field. Those quality reps is going to improve all that type of stuff, just totally all the way around. So transitioning from that, the field house, do we have an ETA, fall, winter, spring?
I think definitely winter. I think that we kind of knew going in how it was going to kind of play out, and so it popped up. There's the physical structure, and all of a sudden you're seeing it just really expand daily there in the spring. And then as summer hit, we knew that they were going to be putting a lot of the emphasis, the construction companies were, with getting Meese ready, which is more important, getting the building ready for students to come back, right now. And so not as much stuff maybe happened over the summer on the field house. And then now I think that Meese is coming to a completion. You'll see the work on the field house really ramp up. And I think hopefully, you're looking at sometime in December or so. I don't know if it'll be open at all for this season, but I think you'll see it progressing throughout the season. As you come to home games, you're going to see it change a lot. And so, it's obviously exciting. It's going to be a first-class, one-of-a-kind facility in the state. And so, you know, and probably what I'm looking the most forward to is just going back to the player development, what we're going to be able to do with kids in January and February and March now to be able to, from the training aspect, I think is going to be the biggest benefit that we're going to see from our facilities.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is transitioning from a 7-month sport to a 12-month sport. You know, when you have that nice indoor facility, and of course the old field house was what it was. It served its purpose, but this new thing is going to be truly something special, state of the art, kind of like you were mentioning. So, for those who don't really know as far as what's going to be on the inside there, what's some sneak peeks there as far as this specific development stuff and inside of the building?
Well, the indoor practice area is going to be regulation width, which was huge. The width is sometimes more important than the length, but so it'll be regulation width and 70 yards long. So you're really going to be able to do any play in football, right? Like the kickoff is the longest play, and it's 70 yards is the total it could be. And so you're going to be able to perform a kickoff in the building and everything else in between, which will be big. Then on the ground level, which even with that, the indoor field, there'll be about a 5,000 square foot weight room. We'll have 16 racks. It's going to be as nice as any college that you walk into. It's going to be really, really, just awesome. Been able to be involved with the designing and getting the equipment and all the kind of stuff that we want from that standpoint. Also on that level, there's going to be a team room, which is going to have about stadium seating of about 60 seats with the big film projector wall that you're able to do, all your meetings, all your video and stuff work with. And then you also have, a visitor locker room on the other end. And then upstairs, you got training room, then you got locker room. So seventh middle school will have their own locker room on one side, and then the varsity will have their own locker room on the other side, and then there'll be coach's office. So it's going to be lots of room, lots of it's going to be really nice when it's all complete.
It certainly will, and I think that I've been saying it for a long time, ever since I've seen the groundwork being put in. It's like this thing, if this doesn't energize you, which getting a bunch of kids in that building to fill it up, like, I don't know what will. And I definitely think it already has. And you're already seeing the youth programs in the high school, really return to form. As far as other kids camps / outreaches and stuff that the high school kids have been doing, what sort of stuff do you guys do this off season?
Well, I mean, we had, SYFL puts on an awesome camp. We did that in July. And, kids have, we did some things, with the God's Food Pantry to do some things, and so that was some good stuff. But I'd also I do want to mention my staff. Talk a little bit about my staff real fast. I got Zach Tibbs, who's our offensive coordinator, who's been with me now. This will be our third year together. I think that's good. Castle Hatcher, who's wears a lot of hats, but brings a lot of energy every day and does a great job with the receivers and with the outside linebackers. Kagan Skidmore helps with the offensive and defensive linemen. Castle and Kagan, Ty Tevis that does our DBs and our running backs are alum. Got George Hatcher that's always out there keeping us all straight and in line. And Jared Swearinger, or Moose, as everybody knows him, is back out with us, and really, really glad to have him. I think he's going to add a lot to our defense and be able to, his work ethic, his attention to detail is going to be really big for us. And support staff, you got Nick Alsop, Jason Rubel will help with our video. Connor McJunkin, who's our Booster Club president, comes out and volunteers a little bit and does all of our graphics, all the stuff. Cool stuff that you see on our social media stuff is a lot of Connor's work, and he's very talented in that. So, excited about the staff, excited about our middle school program, and, Bart Williams and Carrie and Brandon Brooks with our SYFL do a great job with that organization. I'm excited to have G.J. Woolridge coming on as our middle school coach, and so anyway, there's a lot of things that we're excited about, and hopefully we have a great season.
I'm definitely excited as well, and I can't wait to be up there in the booth with you guys every step of the way. And Coach, good luck this season. I know you got the guys prepared, and each game is going to be one step at a time. But good luck Saturday night versus Wayne County. We'll see you.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. That was Coach Clay Clevenger here on Lake Cumberland Sports at the Coaches Show located at Wings and Rings here. We're going to have some player interviews here in just a moment. Thank you again, sir.
I was thinking 6:15 is my fault.
Well, no, you're good. It's one of those.
It's hard to get here by 6.
It is. I hadn't even thought of that. It's like, golly, it's kind of early for this yard, it seems like. But we appreciate you coming.
No problem.
Yes, sir. See you. Do I need to just sit here and chill, or are we off for now? Oh, I'm staying? I didn't know if we were rolling continuously. All righty. Oh yeah, we got a great combination right now. I didn't know we were just continuously. Are we continuously rolling? All right. Okay. Gentlemen, I think we're live. I've got sitting next to me Xavier Woldridge, Austin Lawless. It's good to be with you guys, and really excited for this season of football. You know, obviously coming off that 11-2 performance, lost the first game, had some questions, and people were rumbling. Rattled off 11 straight wins, and nearly had the Aces there in Owensboro last game of the season. So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Austin, since you are a senior. What do you think your biggest takeaway from last season was going into this season as far as like the attitude, the mentality, taking it into 2026?
Just that it's not enough. Like, you just got to push it harder. Like, we can't get there and just end the season the same every single year. Like, we just got to push a little bit harder. Like, it's not enough to just show up. You know, you got to get better every day. And that we don't need to doubt ourselves either. Like, we can go to state. We're going to go win state. Like, that's the goal. So you don't need to undershoot. You know, shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Like, we're just going to go to practice and work hard every day, and we're expecting to win state and expect nothing less.
Absolutely. You know, win, lose, or draw, you know, it's on to the next week until the final whistle of the final postseason game. I love that attitude. Coach said that you were kind of a man of few words. You go in there, you get your nose dirty, and you kind of head out. And, you know, you probably don't have to say a lot whenever you're in the defensive huddle, because now he's saying you're the Mike. So you're the quarterback of the defense. So how's that been transitioning to Mike?
Well, you know, football is football, so I just go in there and I make tackles and I try to help my teammates. But it's a difference in trying to help my teammates get set and stuff. And most of the time, I did it a lot as an outside backer too, though, calling on and off calls. But it's a little bit different trying to help people out, which the safeties like Xavier and them, they take care of a lot of the coverage calls and stuff, and I just make sure everybody's in it. But I call all the stunts with the D-line and all the blitzes we run. So it's just, I mean, it's nothing too much.
Absolutely.
I know how to play football, and it's football.
Yeah, I kind of was saying the same thing. I think you could probably play all 11 positions if you had to on the defensive side. You know, they say go in there at corner, you'd be like, I got it.
Yeah, I take 11 of me over 11 anybody.
There you go. That's the attitude you got to have as a football player in general, no matter where you're playing. So, Mr. Xavier, man, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. You're looking good. Have you grown a couple more inches too?
Let's say about another inch or two.
Golly. So if he don't stop, man, he's going to be a real big problem. He already is. So we'll talk a little bit about defense and then offense for you, since I had two questions for him. So defensively, you know, you did play a lot of safety last year. This year, you're expected to be, you know, safety, free safety, you know, center field. So how's that going to be for you, especially when we're playing a lot of teams that like to run the football? How do you think that's going to be, especially whenever we get into the playoffs and then we find some teams that want to throw the ball around a little bit? Like, how are you preparing to work on the run as well as the passing game?
So as of right now, I've been trying to work on filling the alley more, coming downhill, you know, just being ready to hit, wrap up. But I have been getting some more strong safety reps too down in the box since I've been getting a little bigger.
Okay.
So I have been down in the box a little bit, but also at free safety, I've got to work on my feet, and, you know, opening up and just eyes. That's all about safety. You got to have good eyes.
Do you have any guys right now in the pros or in college that you kind of try to model your game after defensively?
I've always been a big Cam Chancellor fan.
Ooh.
So that's who I've been kind of watching since I was a kid.
I've seen you try to throw your weight around like Cam Chancellor, but you don't have quite that much heft yet.
Not yet.
You will.
I'm
You
trying to get
will
there.
though. You will though. He probably didn't when he was a sophomore either. But so offensively, I know you're really excited. You got to be excited for Guy Turner coming in, you know, leading this team as the senior quarterback. I don't really know how many people expected, you know, him to kind of just fall into our laps, but he's here, and, you know, he's got the legs, he's got the arm, he's got the know-how. What's it been like working with him this offseason?
I will say Goss probably been one of the best quarterbacks I've played with, and I am glad that he has came to Somerset because he's helped us out a lot, whether it's run game or throwing it, because he can sling the ball, and so it helps keep defenses on their toes. Like they don't know what we're going to do, whether we're going to throw it or he's going to pull it and take off. So he has been a big threat in helping us out with our offense this year.
Okay. I'll transition back to you, Mr. Lawless. So, obviously, your brother's now coming up, and I'd say you guys have kind of been an iron sharpens iron, as any two brothers would. You know, it's growing up. You know, you might butt heads a little bit, but you got each other's back. So, you now having your actual younger brother now on defense with you, he's going to be hopefully getting 100% reps. What's that been like playing with him?
Well, it's just like we've been preparing for this like every day, all summer. We're working at the field, so it's cool to have him there. But it's just like any other player. It's just I'm happy that I have somebody that I can rely on, though, like because I trust Carter to go make a play, and that's like just like having Jake though. I just trust my DN, and I'm glad I can have somebody I trust, and I know how hard Carter works because we do it together. So I believe that he's ready, So.
I think that's great. Yeah, senior and freshman brother combination, and just knowing that you have each other's backs. Who is a senior, though, that's graduated this year that you will miss the most just having around, whether for football or just as a guy in general?
Jake. Me and Jake are pretty tight, but he still comes around. We still get work in. Me, Carter, and Jake will hit the field, summer sport. Those new turf fields are nice, so
Oh, yes.
we go out there and we get one-on-ones pretty often during the summer. So I'll miss Jake being around, trying to go out to eat and stuff after practices and things, but we still hang out. So,
I
but
got
Jake,
one, I was going to say, I got one more brief question for you, though. I asked him about kind of who he models his game after. Who's some college or pro athletes that you kind of, aspire to play like?
well, I love watching Luke Kuechly highlights.
Ooh, you kind of look like Luke Kuechly.
I
a
know
little
that's
bit.
what people tell me too. Tell me I act like him too, but I'm a Panthers guy, so
Okay.
I just like
Keep pounding.
he's the guy.
Okay. Yeah, Luke Kuechly just inducted into the Hall of Fame a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, congrats to him. And I definitely see it. Now, his coverage skills are amazing. Like, have you
Yeah,
had
I
to
don't-
adapt with the coverage?
I don't got him like that. No, but I'm getting better. Like that's what I like all off season. I mean, I used to just work in the off seasons, getting downhill, tackling, pass rush. But I'm a middle backer now, so all I've been doing this off season a lot of drops. Of course, I get pass rush still, but I've been working my drops a lot better, trying to get better footwork and stuff. And I'd love to be at his level one day at dropping back and making plays in the coverage.
Absolutely. So, kind of piggybacking off his question there, who's a senior that's graduated now that you're going to miss?
I'm probably going to have to say Jake, too. I played football and basketball with Jake, so I was around him pretty much the whole school year. But just his work ethic, he's always just coming in just ready to work. No matter how hot, how cold, he was there every day just ready to get better. And I wish I had that work ethic, but
Yeah. It's something that you really just got to kind of work on over the years. And some people kind of get it a little bit easier at an earlier age, but that's good that you're trying to aspire to attain that. So what do you think, and you can keep it PG because I know how it can be, the funniest moment was throughout the off season to now? Funniest football moment that you guys have had? And it, like I said, you're live, so you.
we have a lot of good practices where everybody just comes up and has a bunch of energy.
Okay.
And, everybody's just flying around. I will say, I think it was yesterday, like Coach Clave came up and started stretching and started jogging around, and that just kind of got everybody going. I thought that was pretty funny.
Okay, funny. We changed the definition of funny. What do you say? Funny. I'm thinking something that laughs.
I'm talking football camp when Damian Davis gets real serious about the drill sergeants and he starts buying it and he starts enjoying it and we start taking it serious and
Okay.
he gets us going. Damian
Absolutely.
does. Ask Damian if you get to interview him.
Do you guys have any shout outs that you want to give specifically, for you, whether it be teammates, family members, friends, anybody that's helped you along the way, coaches?
Anybody and everybody that's ever helped me. My mom, especially, mom takes care of me and Carter, and she does everything. And just shout out to all the younger guys for working hard. And shout out to Guy over there. Guy gets the guys at the field daily. I mean, nobody this offseason has been lazy, And I try to get all the linemen, like, we'd work out tons in the spring, just us, no coaches. And I'm just proud of people showing up when they don't have to and that's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot too. They're showing up when you don't have to, and I think when this new field house opens, that's going to really open up another door for that. For you, do you have any specific shout outs? I mean, obviously, you got coaching in your bloodline, but like, is there anybody, him and anybody else that you want to give a shout out?
Big shout out to my family. They've been supporting me since I started playing football. Also, the whole football team. I mean, like he said, every day, the whole summer, I mean, we was out throwing, just trying to get better and working on stuff that we struggled on last year. So everybody's been improving, all the coaches for believing in me and everybody else. I mean, I'm just ready for a big season, and
Absolutely.
I believe that will happen this year.
Absolutely. The last question I have for you guys, obviously Saturday night, game time versus Wayne County. The morale for them, obviously not super high, but they're close. It's the first time they've played Somerset in a long time. They're going to want to go out there and, hit somebody. If they don't win, they're going to go out there and try to hit people. So what are you most excited for and ready for this game?
I'm just ready to be back in action. I mean, I've been waiting for football season ever since it ended last year. I didn't want to go out like that, but it happens. But I believe we're ready, like we are prepared this year to come out and make a statement. And I'm really excited to get back at doing what I love.
Absolutely. Any thoughts about the Wayne County game?
Just in general, like, our football games are about us. So Wayne County's going to come out and they're going to do what they do. But we're going to make plays and we're going to show what we got. And I think we're going to make big plays on defense, big plays on offense. And it don't matter who lines up. We're just going to play our type of game. We're going to win. That's what the goal is. So.
Absolutely. Austin Lawless, Xavier Woolridge with Team 120 for Somerset football. We're going to have a couple more guys here on tap in just a moment. You're listening to Lake Cumberland Sports here at the Coaches Show for the preseason here at Wings and Rings. Thank you guys
sir.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Who's next? Oh, I see. Who else we got? Yes. Usually, almost like I've been seeing you, and usually I have a helmet on, so. But I know you. Joined by Corbin Samala and Drew Anderson of the Somerset High School football team. And guys, it's good to be with you today. Obviously, sophomore, senior. Going to ask some of the same questions, some different ones, but coming off of last season's, 11-2 record, lost to opener, had a lot of questions going forward, won 11 straight games, and then had the tough loss, of course. Very competitive loss. At one point, we're leading. What do you think the biggest takeaways from last season transitioning into this season is going to be for you, Corbin?
Honestly, I think last year we just didn't want it enough. Like, I felt like some days in practice we weren't taking it serious, or we were just trying to have too much fun with it and not enough business. But this year it's been a complete turnaround. Feel like we're practicing a lot harder and everybody just wants it more overall, because I think everyone knows that we can do it this year and they have that confidence.
So he's got the confidence saying, last year didn't quite want it enough. What do you think? Do you think it's the same thing, or is there anything else you're taking from last season into this season?
I'd say same thing that Corbin was saying, and then also better team chemistry this year. Everybody seems to be getting along. Offense is moving a lot better this year. Defense looks a lot better. I'd say it'd be a different year this year.
That's great. I mean, that's really refreshing to hear. So I'll ask this question as well. Who is a senior leader from last year that left that even if it's not necessarily football, just like you'll miss having him around?
Obviously Chris, grew up playing football with him. We were on the same team in elementary school, middle school, all the way through high school. And then Jake Bartley, too. I was really close friends with him, and Jax Griffith. Those are the main three that I'll miss playing football with.
Of course, you were a freshman, and I don't know how they do things these days, but in my days, freshmen and the seniors, man, they had weird relationships sometimes. But who's an upperclassman? Who's a guy that graduated last year that you're going to miss?
Definitely Tenor, Zach, Jake again, Chris, Jax too, like all them.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, great senior class last season, and this year only 7 of you guys, according to Coach. So even though it's a smaller group, I think the quality is still there, even though if the quantity is not for this senior class. What do you think? Who do you think's really taken the leadership role? Of course, Chris and Jake, and we had so many guys, Zach Carter, that were contributors for several years. Who do you think's kind of stepped into that role this year? Is it you? Is it who else is it?
Honestly, I think the biggest leader and who stepped up the most is probably Austin Lawless. he's not super vocal just because he's a quiet guy, but I think he is definitely our senior leader this year.
Well, sometimes the quietest guys, like whenever they speak, everybody's ears perk up, you know. So I think I'm kind of picking up what you're putting down with Austin. What about for you? Is there anybody else that's standing out as kind of a good leader so far?
Definitely Austin, but also Guy. He came in, adding the new little stuff, getting everybody to go to the field after practice still, adding more stuff to do for us, making us a better team.
Yeah, Guy, I mean, he's definitely doing great. So going after what Guy's come over here, he's come here and he is throwing the ball well. He's obviously got the speed. I can't wait to see it on this Saturday and then Friday nights going forward. What do you think he's going to add to the offense that maybe we didn't have in the prior years?
Definitely passing ability. I mean, obviously everyone knows Chris wasn't really a quarterback, but he was forced in that position due to injuries and stuff. But now that we have the passing attack, I think we're going to be a lot just better overall offense because we were kind of one-dimensional, but now we can spread the ball out, which helps a lot. And he's a mobile quarterback too, so it'll just be a greater overall experience for the team.
The last couple questions I'll ask this to you and to him. But what do you think the biggest jump in your game has been through this offseason? Obviously, you know, you play corner. What is your biggest jump you think you've made?
Confidence is a lot different this season. I feel like definitely a lot more to prove too.
So, like, not the second guessing and stuff,
Yeah,
maybe?
no more playing like 8 yards off, a lot tighter and more confident in what I can do and knowing I can go against their best.
Awesome. What do you think your biggest improvements are personally this offseason?
Probably my confidence and my size. I've probably put on 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and I've gotten a little quicker, a little bit more burst, which will be good, especially running the ball. So I'm excited to see that. I feel like I've gotten better, especially the past month or so, just being explosive and having better stamina, just stuff like that.
Who's your shout-outs, man? We got to ask everybody their shout-outs. The biggest supporters, you guys, you got it, your day ones. Who you going to shout out?
Probably shout out my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, and then I probably shout out my favorite freshman football player.
There you go.
I don't know. My favorite freshman football player is probably Grizz. Jaron Childry, he's a dog. Made camp way better.
Okay. I like to hear freshmen, you know, getting their recognition. What about for you? Any specific shout-outs that you got?
Definitely my mom and dad, my brother. But Kaysen and Jaron make this team a lot more fun, made me get through military camp. It was a lot better.
Unfortunately, I had to play that role when I was a freshman. I was kind of the clown. So I get it. I definitely get it. But it was good talking to you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys Saturday night and hoping for a great season. Thank you guys so
sir.
much.
Thank you.
Corbin and Drew.
Yes, sir.
All right. Gotcha.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel.
Joined here by Chris Dezern and Guy Turner. You know, some new additions here to the Somerset football family. And Guy, we'll go ahead and start with you. Obviously, this is your first year enrolled at Somerset. So what are some things that you're noticing right now that's like, wow, this is a whole lot different from where I've come from and the ways that you're kind of stepping into the leadership role?
I got you, yes, sir. Definitely a huge shout out to my offensive line. Like, for sure, without them guys, I cannot do my role at all. And, I mean, I'm just blessed to be around such great coaches that love the game. Not only do they love the game, they're insanely smart about the game. Like, through and through, Coach Clevenger's just good on both sides of the ball. He knows what he's talking about. You can ask him any football question, he can hit you straight with it. Just truly blessed to be here and surrounded by a fantastic community for sure.
Awesome. Who are some guys that you've recognized that are, like, really taking over the leadership role of the team since you've been here?
Oh, probably Guy. Guy's been probably one of our greater leaders. Austin Lawless, he's a pretty good leader too. He's always stepped up whenever we needed it. And John Reynolds, he's he's always also been a great leader.
Definitely some legit names there. And Guy, we're, again, happy to have you here. So I know what kind of dynamics you can add a little bit. You know, you got great speed, great arm. What are some ways that you're wanting to get some guys involved maybe that is a little more creative, you think? Which you can't spoil anything necessarily, but like,
definitely.
I know you're excited.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely excited to get out there on Saturday. But I mean, our whole team's just like, we got plenty of weapons. Like, I mean, coming off defense, like, I mean, we, in my opinion, in 2A football, we have two of the best middle linebackers in the state, hands down. Like, those guys can make it happen. And Zaysha, like, he's unstoppable. So, I mean, mainly with us, it's just like my weapons. I got Alex Decker out wide, Xavier Woolridge in the slot, my running backs. Shout out to Corbin Samala and Darius Ryder. Like, those guys can tote the rock for sure. And, I mean, like, all around, it's just fun football. So, I mean, it's definitely a blessing for sure.
Absolutely. So, and I'll ask you guys both this really quickly, but the facility, the field house and everything like that, it's almost there. You guys, you're not going to be able to see it in its full glory until the season's over. But as far as what that's going to be able to do for talent development in the future, how do you guys see that coming in the future?
Oh, it'll expand everything by so much. We'll be able to we'll have so much more access to things, you know, not a lot of teams around the area will have access to. And that should help our team grow stronger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think getting kids that are walking in the hallways, like, you see somebody who's like, dang, that kid's big, you know, he could probably play. That might get them to come actually show up and feel like, yeah, you know, I can do it. You know, I used to just sit and play video games, but I'm going to go out there and play now. So do you have any shout-outs, though, specifically for family, friends, coaches, teammates?
Yeah, of course. Definitely my mom and my dad and my sister. Like, without those guys, they're my rock. And shout out to my grandma as well. Coaching-wise, and the entire coaching staff, Coach Clevenger, Coach Junk, Coach Tibbs, Coach Castle, Coach Skid, all those guys, and Pappy, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Pappy, of course. Yes, sir, yeah.
What about for you? You got anybody you want to shout out?
Just shout out my mom and dad. They're always there for me whenever I need them. And then, like Guy said, shout out all the coaches because they're all great.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, this is Chris DeZern and Guy Turner. And, guys, we appreciate you guys coming out. Good luck Saturday night. Good luck the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll cross paths at some point.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it was good talking to you
Yes,
guys.
sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. For sure.
And thank you.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you. Homes, farms, commercial properties, and investment properties from all over Kentucky. Where? FordBrothersInc.com. Just click on, go to upcoming auctions, and you will be amazed. You can just browse or register to bid, and you're set. You'll have a front row seat to everything that you're looking for, whether it's live or online. Check out FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Lake Cumberland Sports Coaches Preview Show. I'm Josh McKinney with new Southwestern Warrior football coach Mark Payne. Coach, hello.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be sitting alongside a different chair for you this year.
Absolutely. Been around the program, but this is still relatively new for me.
And neither one of us, let's do the Ricky Bobby. We don't know what to do with our hands, do we?
Do I grab my papers here? What do I hold?
Coach, we appreciate the time as always. Looking forward to going down this road with you as head coach. Always like to kind of go back and recap last year, and you're in it. You know what it was. 1-10 last year, lost to West Jess 35-14, and round one last year was a difficult year.
Yeah, we relied a lot on some youth last year.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some of those guys back in key positions, so they're a year older. But at the same time, we still got to find ways to build each day. We like to have a saying, stack days, so that's what we're trying to do right now.
I like that, stack days.
Yeah.
Good days on top of good days, and hopefully there's been a lot of those, I hope.
Yeah, we've had quite a few. The problem is every now and then we'll stack days, and then we'll take 2 steps back, and we got to get out of that habit right now.
Gotcha. Well, of course, coaching change after 7 years. Coach Jason Foley exiting the program. I know you wish Coach well because, as I told you as you walked in tonight, we would not have you if it was not for Coach Jason Foley, because you all had been through the fires long before you got to Southwestern. I know you wish him well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Southwestern has a great tradition of winning football, all the way back to Coach A, Coach French. And then Jason had possibly, one of the best stretches in history.
Yeah.
So wish him the absolute best in what he's doing.
Well, after 1 year back as D coordinator, you're now the head chief. How's it been so far? Has it been as crazy as it was for you at Madison Southern?
It's been good. Not as crazy as Madison Southern. We knew a lot of people in the community here, so
Right.
it was
Okay.
easy to transition back here. For my family, this is home. We're not from here originally, but this is pretty much all my girls knew growing up.
Yeah.
So it's home. So we knew the community. I knew, even though I didn't coach a lot of the kids, I knew them because I was around them coming up through the youth league in the middle school. So I knew what we were coming back into. It's just trying to build that family atmosphere around the team.
That's important.
Yeah.
And you mentioned some names that I'm impressed with. You're the fifth coach in program history. You know the lineage, so you know there hadn't been a whole lot sitting in your chair.
I know it, and I'm going to give a shout out. Thanks to Michael Childers. He keeps me up to date on
Chili.
Chili keeps me up to date on all the history of the program. So
Yeah. Chili's a good one.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we always appreciate Michael Childers, certainly. Well, Coach, kind of get into the nitty gritty. Let's start with that roster. You want to start with your seniors? You got a good group of seniors.
Absolutely. We'll start with our seniors. We got Cameron Bonds, number 11. He's actually coming back to our program. So he was here for his freshman, sophomore year.
Good.
He moved down with some family in Georgia, and they moved back up here. So he's back for his senior year.
That's good.
It's going to be a big addition for us. Athlete on offense, can line up in the slot or the backfield, and then on defense he's very versatile as well, playing some strong safety and outside linebacker.
Nice.
So he gives us another playmaker on offense. Then everybody knows number 65, big Caden Campbell. I mean,
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah,
Seen that
heard of
guy a
that
few
guy.
times.
Just watching him grow and develop over the past 4 years been amazing. When I left, he was in middle school, and he was a big kid then, but he was playing some skill positions. He was a tight end. He would go up and make plays, and now he's getting ready after this season go off and play Division I college football as an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
So he's kind of leader for us, and he's been adapting to that role really well.
That's awesome.
Colson Ockman, number 4, running back, do-it-all guy on offense. He'll line up in the backfield like Cameron. He'll also split out wide, play in the slot. He can do really anything on offense.
True.
And it's funny because he's probably the smallest guy on the field. He's probably only weighing about 155, but he works incredibly hard in the weight room, and he works incredibly hard on the practice field, and that translates to Friday nights.
That's a coach's dream, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's hard to get them to buy into, the way you practice, the way you're going to play. Some of them don't see it until, they get out there and then realize, hey, I got to get going a little bit harder.
I think I've heard that saying before from a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Play the way you practice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in your way. You go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Brad Foster, senior for us. I believe he played as a freshman, had taken a year or 2 off, come back out as a senior. He's going to play a big role for us on defense as an outside linebacker. We got Sam Framer. He's going to be a senior defensive end, played a lot for us last year on the defensive line. Going to try to get him a little bit more involved in the offense this year.
Good.
But he's been a great leader for us in the locker room, does all the right things on and off the field. So he's someone that's really took over a leadership role. We got Kellen Gregory, receiver and corner for us. He's coming back out for his senior year. He had taken a year or 2 off. He's someone that is going to play a lot of minutes on defense for us. Jordan Lewis, he's going to be a senior, and I'm not for sure. I may be wrong on this because I wasn't here his freshman year, but I believe he's one of the few seniors that started and played as a freshman.
Stuck with it.
Yeah, so he started and played as a freshman. He's been through all 4 years. So he has a ton of experience, just trying to find out what's the best way to get him involved.
And that cat, knowing that, and thank you for bringing that back up, bringing that up. Like he's seen it all in this program in those 4 years.
Yeah.
Coming off what we came off of last year, the success as a freshman. Yeah, he's seen a little bit of everything.
Yeah, played for, I guess, 2 region championships as a freshman and
Yeah.
sophomore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been through it all.
Yeah.
R.J. Noble, that may be a new name.
I believe so, yeah.
He is moved in from North Laurel. His family moved here. Great kid, gives us a big target. 6'4" receiver out wide. Also plays basketball.
Ooh.
So Coach Dunbar, going to be glad to get him in the gym once football season's over. But he can do a lot of things for us offensively. Gives us a little bit of dynamic that we didn't know we'd have this year.
Nice. That's really good.
And then throwing to him, we got Taden Richardson, senior quarterback. Last year, we kind of ran 2 quarterback system a little bit. Each one of them had their strengths.
They did. Yeah.
And this year, the show is kind of all Taden's.
It's his.
Yeah, so
Good.
We're going to see what he can do with it. He's had a great off season, great summer. He prepares himself every day in practice. So I think he's ready for that opportunity.
We've seen, following Tay throughout his career, you've seen glimpses of him slinging the pill down the field and what he can be as a passer or a runner or whatever. And now knowing that it's his show and he's going to run it, it's going to be interesting to follow his senior season. Yeah. That's going to be nice.
One of his best attributes, and I tell him this all the time, he's a gunslinger. He's like your Brett Favre. He doesn't care to try to fit it in a tight window, and we want that. The only thing we're working on is sometimes when it doesn't go our way, we just got to wash that one away and get ready for the next one.
As in life, and that's difficult to do.
Yeah.
No. Well, I look forward to, and that's a senior class.
We got 2 more. We got Gabe Strunk, senior offensive lineman. I believe he's played all 4 years. He'll play some offense and defensive line for us. And then Big Trent Talent, who I believe has been around all 4 years. Trent really came on last year. He really bought into trying to change his body because he's a big guy.
Big dude, yeah.
And now he's got to the point where he can move really well for a 305-pound lineman. And so he's going to play a big part on our defense. He'll play some nose guard and anchor that defensive line, take on all those double teams.
Nice.
So,
I know that makes you happy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As a defensive coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you've got in that mix of seniors, you've got warriors that have been through the fire, played for regional championships, went through last year, and I love the fact that you've got some back out, because we'll talk about numbers later in the interview. You got to have those senior leaders. You got to have those upperclassmen. You got to have them.
Yeah, I feel like at times last year that was the thing we were missing. At times,
that's true.
It was just some leadership, and we've really put a emphasis on that this off season, and they've really bought into it.
It's good.
Yeah. So we got a coach that's not new to the program, but back to the program, and every day, I hear him yelling, "How you do one thing is how you do everything," and that's Coach Boone's motto, and the kids are buying into that.
Nice.
So,
good to hear.
Yeah.
He knows a few things about football.
He knows. He's been around a couple years. He's older. He's older than me.
Oh.
So he may look younger, but he's older than me.
We're going to go there? Okay,
Yeah.
we can go there. Well, yeah, it's great to hear that seniors are buying in, and that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Juniors? What you got?
Juniors. We have a couple less juniors, but we got a couple. We got Noah Burton. He's corner and receiver for us. We're hoping that Noah can take a step forward this year and give us some meaningful reps on defense. He's put some work in the offseason. We got Alex Davis, who was a starter on our offensive line last year. Not sure if he's going to be starting on the O-line or D-line this year. He's so good both ways, and we're trying to figure out how we can take a little bit off of him, not make him
Not
go.
wear him out.
Yeah, not wear
Okay.
him out. We got Blake Haynes, played quite a bit for us last
Absolutely,
year.
yeah.
He's ready to take a step forward on offense and play a bigger role in offense, and we got some things planned for him. Jacob Kaiser, another offensive lineman that started for us last year. He's ready to take another step forward, put in a lot of work in the offseason. So kind of seeing, these junior linemen, a lot of them played last year.
Names you know. Yeah,
a lot
that's
of them
right.
played last year. Gabe Pendry, he moved over from Somerset. He had previously been here at Southwestern and left for a year or so. He came back. He's going to be playing some corner for us on defense. Then you got Jackson Staley,
Heard of that cat before?
who's
Yeah.
going to be one of our leaders. He's only a junior, but he's one that when you're in the thick of it, when it's crunch time, you want him on your side.
Absolutely. Well said.
And then number 5, Aiden Whitson, the same way.
Same
You know,
dude.
those
Yeah.
two guys are juniors, but they act like seniors in the locker room. We rely on their leadership a lot, and they're just tough football players. You know, that's a huge compliment. They're not just athletes; they're football players. They love every part of the game. So we're going to rely on those two guys a lot.
And that makes a lot of sense why they're juniors, but they act like seniors.
Yeah.
I mean, that says everything you need to know about them.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's your junior class? You still
That's
got
our
more?
junior class.
Okay. So a smaller junior class, but that's
Yep.
that's really good talent. And as you mentioned, names that we got to see and got experience last year.
Yep.
Would help this year, certainly.
So sophomores, Matt Cardenas is going to play some offensive line for us. Had one of the best off seasons as far as in the weight room out of anybody on the team.
Really?
Made some huge strides in the weight room with strength. So he's going to see some opportunities on the offensive line. Aiden Edwards is another sophomore who's had a great offseason. He's looking at starting in our secondary. He has a knack about him. He always puts himself in position to make plays.
Oh, wow.
May not be the fastest, may not be the most physical, but he's always in the right spot.
But that makes up for it, doesn't it?
It makes up for
Love
it.
it.
100%. Reminds me a little bit of a guy we had a few years ago, Jonas Gallagher. You know, he led the defense,
Yeah.
always in the right spot, always made the big plays.
I think I remember that cat.
Yeah.
Cowboy, I think we call him.
Yeah.
That's high cotton,
It's
Coach.
high,
That's,
it's high praise. And I may be jumping the gun because I know Aiden's just a sophomore. But my last year before I left, Jonas was a sophomore, and I can kind of see some of the same qualities in Aiden as I saw in
Okay.
Jonas.
Wow. No pressure, Coach. I mean,
Yeah, I may be putting him, putting him on the spot right there. I may be giving him too big of shoes to fill up, but I think he can do it.
if you think it, he can do it. Absolutely. Yeah.
We got Xavier Gregory. He's our backup quarterback right now, and I tell you one thing about Xavier. You know, his deep ball may be his best attribute. You know, when he gets in the game, he can really sling it. So we may have some packages for him at some point in time. I don't want to give out any
Coach
trick plays, but we may have some stuff.
You hear what he said, Hibbert? He's already talking about two quarter. Coach. Okay, you got to do what you got to do to win.
We're a one quarterback system, but
I got you.
we got we're comfortable with Xavier. If something was to happen, he would be ready to step in.
And that is good because 10 games regular season, it's a lot of games, a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Damian Gum, freshman on the offensive line. I believe he started the last 4 games of last year.
Yeah.
So once again, there, the youth, what was youth last year, hopefully pays off his experience this year. Carter Hansford, a sophomore who's still relatively new to football, but he's getting better every day. Levi Jones, another young man that's kind of new to football, but once again, he's getting better every day. Got guys, Donaton King, he's a sophomore that moved here, I believe, from Boyle County, maybe. He's shown a lot of promise. We got Hayden Poland, who started some of the season for us at linebacker.
Yeah.
We're trying to get him going right now. He's had a couple of nagging injuries, but we look for him to fill right back in where he left off at linebacker last year.
Yeah.
Jeremy Rader, offensive lineman, someone that has a ton of potential. We just got to get him there. I think another offseason in the weight room, he'll be ready by his junior year, but he's going to be thrown into the fire this year as a sophomore, and he's going to have to get some varsity experience. Winston Sanderson. I'm not sure if you know Winnie or not, but I think everybody's going to know him within a couple of games this year.
Really?
So sophomore receiver. He broke Mason Hibbard's vertical record.
Nick Hibbard, pay attention here.
So
Winnie broke Nick Hibbard's, what'd you say?
Winnie, he broke Mason Hibbard's vertical record this offseason. Winston Sanderson. Winnie.
Vertical?
I think he got like 38.3. I believe Mason's was around 37.
You might want to text Mason.
Mason wanted to come back and get another shot at that.
Give me another go around. We love you, Mason. We miss you, bud.
But Winnie can go up and get the football.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he runs a scout team offense for us a lot, and he's going up and getting it over some of our guys on varsity defense, and so he's going to get his opportunities to make plays.
I think Coach Boone will probably really enjoy that.
Oh, yeah. Rob Singhofer, sophomore defensive lineman. Rob got thrown in the fire a little bit last year as a freshman.
Yeah.
He's going to play some big minutes for us on the defensive line. Colton Tucker, sophomore, got a little bit of opportunity last year as a freshman. Has worked his tail off this year in the offseason. He's going to be starting for us on the offensive line. Doing a great job. He's really bought in, to that motto: how you do one thing's how you do everything, and that's paying off for him. Maddox Walters, another linebacker that got some playing time as a freshman last year, got thrown into the fire when we had some injuries. He's taken a huge step forward. He's going to play a lot of jack linebacker for us on defense, so he's going to be moving around a lot on defense, trying to get him, to the strength of the call. And then that concludes our sophomores.
It's a good sophomore class.
Yeah, it's a good sophomore class. We lost a few in the class, but at the same time, all those guys that held out and stayed with it, they've made tremendous gains.
And a lot of those, again, like your juniors that were getting experience last year, you had freshmen last year that are sophomores that were getting experience last year, and that translates to this year.
Yeah.
Good, hopefully.
Yep.
Well, speaking of this year's freshmen.
This year's freshmen, so we only have a handful that played football last year, but we do have quite a few that are wanting to come out and see what it's all about. And I've been proud that they've stuck through all the hard days and they're growing and learning. But one of our guys, Will Avina, he's not new to football. He's been around football. He's going to step in and play some offensive line and linebacker for us. We got Owen Collins. Owen just moved here from Louisiana, plays a little bit of quarterback and safety. He's only been with the program for a week.
Oh, he's brand new.
Oh, yeah, he's brand new. He showed up for open house a week and a half ago and said, "Hey, I just moved here from Louisiana. I played football down there." And so we're like, "All right, well, we need you. Let's
come on.
Let's get So he shows promise. We got Eli Coots, similar situation. Eli showed up first day of school, moved here from Utah, offensive lineman body. He's had a great motor this first week of practice that he's been there, so
awesome.
Excited to see what he can do. Collier Helton. Collier's a guy that's been in our program coming up through middle school, plays free safety, wide receiver. Really excited to see what Collier's going to do this year. He may even kick some varsity for us.
Okay.
So he's got a lot of promise. We got Caleb Clave, Kason Lawson, Ben Lee. These guys, they haven't played much football, but they've came out and they've stuck it out, and they're practicing hard, and I think a lot of that's going to pay off for them once we get them involved in our JV.
Yeah.
We got Anthony Sloan and James Townsend. Similar situation, haven't played much football, but they've came out, and I think, if they keep working with it, they're going to be fine. Then we got Harley Wesley. Harley's the younger brother of Jacob Wesley, who played for us a little bit varsity as a freshman last year.
Yeah.
Jacob's had some injuries, and he decided to step away. But Harley's, he's a big freshman. He's, 6'2", 185 pounds.
Ooh.
So if he sticks with it, he's got a promising future. And then Tyson Wilson, a freshman offensive lineman. You know, he's played football, came up through Oak Hill and Southern Middle, and he's going to kind of anchor that freshman line.
Good. That's a good group of freshmen, and it's so important. We briefly mentioned it earlier, talking about numbers, and I know we discussed it when he got here this evening, and talking to Coach Boone. That's kind of, you know, I don't want to say object number one, but it's very high on the list. Getting guys out or getting guys back out into the program for whatever reason they left, this, that, and the other. Getting them back.
Yeah. And it's been one of my top priorities.
I figured.
I'm very fortunate, as we mentioned, to have Coach Boone back around the program, and you know he's running our offense, and you know he's a head coach himself. So I mean he can do all the things, and that gives me the ability to kind of focus on other areas, especially when I got a guy like Tate Morris. I don't know how well you know Tate, but he's been around the program for a few years, a brilliant mind. He's going to be running our defense, so I'm going to step away from the defense. Tate is going to be a head coach sooner rather than later, and if I got him on my staff, I'm going to use him. So he's going to call the defense for us, and that really gives me the ability to, you know, do all the things that I need to be doing right now, which is getting some of those numbers back up. For whatever reason, and I think the biggest reason is football is just being attacked, you know, everywhere. I mean, you know, it's, you know, I don't want to say it's a dying sport because I don't believe that, but there are so many people that, you know, for whatever reason, attack football because of its physicality or coaching styles or the demands of the game, and so many young kids have stepped away, and just trying to get them back into it and let them understand that it's okay to do something that's hard.
Absolutely, it is. Like, because as all of us as grown-ups know, and you coaching players that already know, life is freaking hard.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not rainbows and unicorns every damn day. It's not. Like, there were very hard days that you had to peel yourself out of the bed and go do what you do.
100%.
You know? Yeah. Well, you mentioned Coach Morris and Coach Boone. We'll talk more about your coaches here in a bit. I'll give you time if you want to. You've been going strong. If you want to, you know, get a little refresher there from our friends at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Come on out and see us. South 27 Buffalo Wings and Rings, the 2026 Lake Cumberland Coaches Show, visiting with Coach Mark Payne, the 5th head coach in Southwestern Warrior history. Well, I don't want to start off. We briefly talked about coaches. Yeah, I don't want to start off with offense because of your new offensive coordinator. I want to make him wait, make him sweat it out a little bit. I want to talk about what your wheelhouse has always been in defense, and you mentioned Coach Tate Morris in your defense this year.
Yeah, so we got Tate on our defense. He is super detailed. I always thought I was detailed, and it's funny because Tate played for me. He'll say that I wouldn't let him play defense. That's not true. He played some defense for me, but he is super detailed to the point where, you know, it's past even what I do. So he does all of our practice scripts, does all the game planning, puts in tons of hours of film each week. Wow. Even when we've been in the summer and we're just practicing, you know, he's watching hours on hours of film, trying to, you know, pick apart everything that, you know, we're doing wrong, trying to fix all the corrections. So he's doing a great job. And then the other guys around him, we got Rowan Pennington.
He knew a thing about defense. He knew a thing. Yeah. He knew a lot about defense.
He was one of the smartest linebackers I think I've ever coached. He, as we mentioned earlier, he's just someone that was always in the right spot at the right time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Got George Gregory running our secondary DBs.
He can play ball.
Yeah. He can play ball. He played on the other side of town.
He did. We don't hold that against him.
Yeah, we don't hold that against him. He actually started whenever I first came here in 2019. I hired him as my secondary coach.
Okay.
Nick Mills was the secondary coach, and then George helped us. But
I was around the program.
I think he was a receiver coach at that time.
Okay.
And then when Nick left, I believe he may have stepped in to that secondary role. So he's been around the program for a few years, and he does a great job. We got Gordon Crow as our defensive line coach. He's been on staff for the past few years, does a tremendous job with our defensive linemen. And then to round out our defensive staff, we got Mark Cundiff, who's a defensive analyst for us.
Yeah, man.
He's our guy that makes sure that get the kids.
The motor?
Yeah. He's not going to let you slack.
No.
Ever. I don't know a nice way to put it.
That's well said. Well
Yeah.
said. Yeah, he's the motor.
Yeah.
He's the no slack tonight guy. I like it.
Absolutely.
Well, it's good that you got a couple new faces. Well, yeah, well, one new face really, I guess, defensively that I can think of. Then you've got, you talk about Coach Cundiff and Coach Morris, guys that were, with you last year.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the program. So not a lot of turnover defensively.
The plan was to not have a whole lot of turnover just because it's very difficult on the kids whenever they have to transition to a new head coach anyway.
Yeah.
You don't want them to have to transition to an entire new staff.
Yeah.
But one thing that we did also want to do is bring in a couple of guys that were alumni and kind of knew some of the expectations and the standards that the program was built on. So we tried to bring a couple other guys back in.
Not knocking anyone, unfortunately, from where I sit, I think that was missing the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You agree with that? You don't have to, but I think a little bit of that was missing the last couple of years.
I think it's always missing whenever you don't have at least 4 or 5 guys that have, been through the program.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, I won't say all coaches, but a lot of coaches know ball. Everybody knows ball.
Yeah.
But whenever you're alumni and you've lived it and you've bled for that school and you bled for that team, it just means a little bit more
Well
to
said.
you.
Well said, Coach. Very well said. Well, that's defense. Defensively this year, scheme-wise, and not giving too much away because we kind of got, prying eyes and ears listening. Defensively, what are we looking at this year?
We're going to look at something. It's probably not going to be exactly what you've seen the past couple of years. It's a little bit more of a modern defense.
Okay.
We're looking at running a 3-3 stack defense. We still believe in pressuring, the quarterback. That was always my thing.
My gosh.
I was always going to bring pressure.
Bring the heat.
Yeah. And Coach Morris, he shares those same philosophies, but at the same time, he's also doing some things that he's a little bit more comfortable with. He comes from a great coaching tree. I don't know if you know this. His uncle is the head coach at Owensboro Catholic, and his dad is the defensive coordinator there. So
that's a good tree.
That's a good tree. He's going to be doing some things that they do, some things that he knows, and he's kind of done a great job of meshing things that I've done and what they do, which I brought him to the defensive side last year. He had always been an offensive coach, and I told him, I said, it's really easy to go to the defensive side once you've coached offense because you know everything offense is wanting to do. My first 8 years coaching football was on the offensive side of the football.
Okay.
And then when I moved over, it was just incredibly easy. Once you know all your blocking schemes and all your pass concepts, it makes it a lot easier. So he's been able to make that transition, pretty easily.
I think your definition of easy and my definition of easy is two different things.
Well, I say that there for a while it was easy, and then all your teams, they start running these RPOs.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then they got to answer for everything you do defensively. So they make you wrong no matter what you do. So it's just became a game of chess and really knowing your opponent.
Well said. Well, special teams is an integral part of any given Friday night. Special teams wise, who do you have helping you?
Our special teams coordinator is Logan Starnes. He's also going to be our quarterbacks coach. He's an alumni.
Yes,
Southwestern.
Love that.
The program is something very special to him.
Near and dear. Yeah, well said.
And he takes that special teams role, and that's his baby, and he does a lot with it. So I'm going to give him some leeway to do some things this year. You may see a little bit more trick stuff in our special teams than what you've seen in the past, but give him the opportunity to really do something with it.
Nice.
I feel like special teams, a lot of times it's overlooked. And if you can find a way to steal some big plays in the special teams,
Absolutely.
then it has a huge impact.
Sets up your offense,
Yeah.
certainly. Yeah. He is a cat that has lived it and breathed it and been through the fire of football and life.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess we need to get around to that offensive side of the football, and that you mentioned it earlier. I guess I'll echo those sentiments. I'm so incredibly happy that DT Boone is back with the program.
It's
so happy.
It's been huge for us for so many different reasons. Brilliant offensive mind, great at game planning. As I told you earlier, he's super detailed. He's never going to let you get by with, taking a play off. He holds the kids accountable. But the biggest thing is he was one of the guys that helped build this program. And his standard is the standard that all the kids are going to have to live by. And it's a pretty big standard.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is, and should be.
At 100%. And just his ties with the community, I believe they've got an alumni group started back up, and I feel
Excellent.
like that's something that we were missing, and we want to get those alumni back around. We want them to see that we're not overlooking anything that they did. I often say they're the backbone of the program. The program was built on them. Your youth may be your lifeline of the program. Whatever you have coming up, that's what you're looking forward to. But none of it matters if you didn't have the alumni that built it.
Well said. Very well said. Well, DT, I'm assuming not the only offensive coach you've got on this club?
So, mentioned Coach Starnes is doing the quarterbacks. Coach Boone brought in receiver coach Evan Harris. That's a new name.
Okay.
He played for Coach Boone at Madison Central.
Okay, makes sense.
Then went off and played some college ball. Then got into high school coaching. Had been down in Tennessee coaching, and he's moved back up here to get a little bit closer to home. And he knows Coach Boone's offense. So
that's important.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure that we had guys that knew what Coach Boone wanted to do, and they shared those same philosophies.
Because that is going to translate to just help the kids buy in and get it quicker.
Yeah.
And get the offense moving. That's awesome.
And then the other names, for the most part, are names you probably know. Tim Edwards, we transitioned Tim to the running backs. He's been around the program. This was a great stat that he gave me. I didn't realize it. I believe he's been around the program with all 5 head coaches. So I think he's one of the
few.
Maybe the only person that can say that he's been around the program with all 5
I didn't think
head
about
coaches.
that, but yeah.
So
if Coach Edwards says it, it's gospel. I believe it.
And then Chad Girdler, he's new to us this year, but he's been around the program. I believe he coached when DT was going through high school. I don't want to,
Careful, Coach.
I don't want anybody to.
Careful.
How old is that guy? Sorry,
Careful.
Coach Girdler.
Careful with Coach.
He's going to be doing our tight ends and H backs. He's also going to be leading our JV for us, and no nonsense. That's the biggest thing is he makes sure that the kids know that we are doing the right things, whether it's in the classroom, on the field, or out in the community. He doesn't let them slack with anything, and we needed more of that mindset.
Yeah, agreed. And I think anybody that's been around this program would say that very thing is very high on the list.
And then our last guy is Peyton Phelps,
Tank.
Yeah, so Tank's still with us. He's doing our offensive line. Been around the program pretty much ever since he graduated. I've enjoyed watching him grow as a coach. I got to spend, my time with him when I was here previously, and then, we talked him into coming back last year after he'd take some time off. He had a child, got engaged, so
that happens.
Was doing the family life, and we've talked him into coming back. So he's there for our offensive line.
Coach, you got a great coaching staff. We've talked players, we've talked coaches. And I'm very impressed that your new athletic director is here supporting you tonight. How about that guy?
100%.
How about him?
I mean, my entire administration has been extremely supportive, and it's new across the board. You know,
Yeah.
new,
Yeah.
new superintendent, new
God,
principals, new
everywhere.
assistant principals, new athletic director. But Billy Carson, he's got some big shoes
He does.
to fill. I've always told everybody that Alex Eaton is the best athletic director I've ever worked for.
Yep.
But this guy's first 3 weeks on the job, I don't know if he's just trying to make everybody happy, but he's literally doing everything. And I'm like, hey, you don't have to do that. We can handle some of that, but
Yeah.
he's doing anything and everything. So
Sound like he needs to learn delegation.
he's just a worker. You
Yes,
know,
he is.
He comes from that mindset. He's a head coach.
Yeah, man.
He knows what goes into it, and he's a worker. So
I know.
I'm glad he's on my side.
Absolutely. Well said, Coach. It's a great hire with you, and so many new faces, so many faces that we know, and I know we have quickly ran out of time, and I know you've got a great support staff at home.
Oh, 100%. Thank you. If she's sitting in here, if I didn't give my wife,
You'll be going home with me
shout-
tonight.
No, 100%. we got 4 dogs. I'd be sleeping in one of the
Yeah.
dog houses. But my wife and my 3 girls.
Yeah, man.
My oldest is a freshman at the high school this year. It's mind blowing for me because I remember whenever we were taking team pictures and they were just barely big enough to hold a football. But my wife, Michelle, and my daughters, Malia, Maya, and McKenna, they are my support team.
Yeah.
So.
Well, as a father that just went into college, it doesn't slow down any.
It doesn't slow down.
I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you it did, but it absolutely doesn't. And I know you're looking forward to getting this going. We got just a couple minutes left. You get it started in about 48 hours against a really good Glasgow team schedule-wise this year. Not so many 3-hour-plus trips. Got a good schedule this year, though.
Schedule, I mean, it's still pretty tough. Last year we had a difficult schedule. We lost Belfry off the schedule, and we replaced that with Kings Academy out of Sevierville, Tennessee. But we start out with Glasgow, who's ranked in the top 5 in their class.
Yeah.
Then we go to Campbell County. Then week 3, the big crosstown game, Somerset comes to us.
Yeah.
They're ranked in the top of their class. Then we got Kings Academy. Mercer County, get the game with Coach Burns over there.
Yeah,
Okay. He's doing a good job trying to get Mercer County turned around. Then we go to Pikeville. Pikeville's still going to be at the top of 1A. And then we get into the district. And, for a long time, it was Southwestern and Pulaski, but I feel like right now Pulaski may be ahead of everybody, but the other 3 teams are very, very competitive. It's not a district anymore where North and South are on the bottom, so we got a very competitive district.
Very much so, Coach. So happy for you to be sitting in the head chief chair this year. Looking forward to a great season. Thank you for everything that you've done for us and are going to do for us. Thank you for letting us pester you and be around you and your group. Looking forward to a great season, my friend. We wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Thank you. Look forward to all the post games. Just hope they go our way.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Coach Mark Payne, Southwestern Warriors. It is the Coaches Preview Show on Lake Cumberland Sports. Josh McKinney, Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week will be coming up, I think, this Saturday with Somerset, and I'm taking a break. Am I breaking now? I'm not breaking now. What am I doing now? I'm waiting on players. Muting. Gotcha. Thank you. Lake Cumberland Sports Coaches Show. I'm Josh McKinney, joined by to Southwestern Warriors. Gentlemen, we're going to find out who benches more, and we're going to start with who benches more. You bench more than this cat?
I do.
Do you?
I bench way more than he does.
He benches more than me.
What?
I've got him on squat, though.
Oh. That's
But-
tough.
Well, only about 40 pounds, but it's okay.
Okay.
He's got short arms. He can bench a lot more.
Wow. Jeez. This is not supposed to start like this, guys. Okay. So let's make mom and all the grandparents happy. We'll start. You go.
Aiden Whitson, I'm a junior. I play running back and linebacker, and I'm number 5.
Caden Campbell, number 65, senior O-line, D-line.
You really bench more than him?
Yes, sir.
Does he really? He benches more than you?
Yeah.
You going to let that stand?
It is what it is, I guess.
It's okay.
About 30 pounds.
Okay, so any significance to your jersey numbers? Any significance, Kate?
No, sir.
Not really. Just
No?
got moved to O-line one day, and this is the number they handed me.
I remember a cat, you had a set of shoulder pads off on the sideline. Was that wasn't last year, it was a couple years
No,
ago.
that's sophomore year.
You were a transformer.
Yep.
Gregor's called you transformer.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I will apologize because these are Michael Gregg questions. Michael Gregg, thank you for these questions. Do you all play any other sports?
I'm not playing basketball this year, but
Really?
I have in the past.
Focusing on football.
Yeah, I'm probably going to early enroll at Eastern. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Did you take a visit? You visited Eastern, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you? You like it?
Yeah, I love
Obviously.
it.
Awesome.
I do wrestling and track.
Do you really?
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite? What do you run in track?
The 1 and the 4x1.
Really? Are you Mason Hibbert fast?
Nah.
Is anybody that fast?
Yeah. We got a sophomore, Winnie. He's pretty quick.
The coach was talking about him earlier. Yeah.
He's legit.
Is he?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good deal. All right. This is very important. Like Michael Gregg, like it or not, Michael Gregg gave you, well, he already gave you a nickname.
Yeah.
Transformer.
Okay.
Like it or not, Michael Gregg is going to give you all nicknames. Do you have a nickname outside of the Transformer? I think you
I
answered
do
this
not.
question last year.
It's my last name.
Campbell.
Yes, sir.
Campbell.
I ain't got one either. It's just my last name.
Do you want one?
Nah, sir. I'm fine.
Well, I promise if we give you one, you'll hate it. You'll be fine. How important is a player's swag? Come on now. Come on. Swag?
I don't really see much importance in it. Obviously, look good, play good, but personally, if you can go out there, it doesn't matter if you look good or not. If you can just go out there and play, that's all that matters.
Good. You don't care about the swag, do you?
I don't wear any
Hey,
swag, so no.
You don't need the swag.
No.
Okay, all-time memorable moment. Tough one. This is Michael Gregg, so if you want anybody to blame, you got to blame Greggers. Like, this is 60-minute type question.
Probably,
And you all literally got these questions when you sat down. So,
probably freshman year, getting those first couple reps at running back. I averaged 10 yards a carry freshman year.
yes, you did.
Those are probably, as of right now, my most memorable. Second would probably be leading the team in tackles last year.
It's amazing that you did that, by the way.
Thank
well,
you.
knowing that you bench more than this guy, like, no wonder. I'm sorry to keep giving him grief. He's way too
It's
big.
okay.
All-time memorable moment. Do you have one yet?
I'd say just going to camp with my guys my junior and senior year.
Really?
It's probably my favorite moment.
How was camp this year? Was it good?
It was good.
Yeah. Make any memories at camp that you
Oh.
can share?
Lots. Not probably that I should share.
Careful. Don't implicate anybody here, boys. Favorite hype song?
Probably Walk by Kodak Black.
Nice. Okay.
I actually listen to classical music, so like Mozart.
What?
Before games.
Is he lying? Seriously?
Yeah.
Swear.
You listen to Mozart?
Swear.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Have you always done that?
No, I just started back sophomore year. My outside linebacker coach, Rowan Pennington, he used to come out to practice and he was playing on his phone, and I was like, hey, why are you doing that? And he was like, it just helps you calm down. Well, I used to get real nervous for games, so I tried it out, and
it worked.
It worked. It really worked.
That is incredible.
But if I did have to pick a favorite song, probably Pearl Jam. Song from Pearl Jam.
My boy. 1 minute. We got a lot of questions left to go, boys. You're all doing great. You're doing absolutely great. One word to describe your team this year. One word to describe the team this year.
Tough.
Like it.
Gritty.
Like it. What have you worked on the most during the offseason?
Speed and agility.
Good idea.
Sir.
I'd say just my pass sets.
Okay. Fair enough. What advice would you give to a younger player?
Just don't really get discouraged when you're younger and not getting as much playing time as you would as an upperclassman.
Battle through it. Like it.
Put in as much work as you can, and no matter what anybody tells you, don't believe them. You believe in yourself.
You all are wise beyond your years, and I'm getting the wrap-up signal. You all have been incredible. Nicely done, gentlemen.
Appreciate you.
Have a great season, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for letting us be a part of your season this year. All right?
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Thank you all very much. More after this. Lake Cumberland Sports Coaches Show. I'm Josh McKinney with two more outstanding Warriors. Gentlemen, make the family happy. Introduce yourselves, please.
I'll go first. My name is Taden Richardson. I'm a senior this year. I play quarterback for us.
Name's Jordan Lewis. I'm a running back, senior.
Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Ready to go?
Always.
Looking forward to it?
Always.
Certainly. Awesome. Well, last time I asked who benched more for you two cats. Who runs faster?
Jordan.
Oh, that's me.
Jordan.
That's all me.
For sure. I definitely have a quarterback speed.
I've seen you, Tota. You can run. You can run.
I run straight up, straight, not left.
North-south?
Yeah, north
That's
south.
okay.
Get
North-south
some
pays the
yards.
bills, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
It's money. End zone.
Absolutely.
Who throws the football further?
Me, for
yeah,
sure.
it's definitely Tatum.
I've seen
Yeah.
him attempt to throw it.
I tried, it didn't go well.
We'll stop talking about it there.
So no trickeration this year from Jordan? Maybe.
Hey, you
Maybe.
never know.
Who
You
knows?
never
With
know.
Coach Payne, Coach Boone. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of the way. Again, these are Michael Gregg questions. So if you don't like the questions, when you see Michael Gregg Friday night or this season, give him grief. Okay? He's a big guy with me. So, any significance to your jersey number? Jordan, you go first. Not really.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like originally when I came into football, it was 31, word 31 at that time.
Yeah.
And I really wanted a single digit, but I never wanted number one, and I really wanted number two, especially after I started to say Nash and Gentile all the time, and it kind of took some inspiration into
Okay.
that and pulled me into the running back area more.
Okay.
So definitely feel like there's a little bit of memories behind that number.
Gotcha.
Well, I've wore 6 the past 3 years of high school.
Yes,
2
you
years.
have. You know
And
you're going to screw with me all year with that.
I know. And now
It's okay,
Zay
brother.
actually wears 6.
Okay.
So I kind of switched because, I feel like you always reach to get to the top. You always want to be number one. So that's
like
kind of my mindset right now. Like,
Dude.
nobody really believes in us, and we want to get up there.
Nothing to lose.
So
All out.
we're ready.
I like it. I like it. How many years have you all played football?
I've been playing now for about 14 years.
What was it?
How long have you played football?
I started in kindergarten, so 17 years.
Wow. Impressive. Do you all play any other sports? What is your favorite sport if you do? Any other sports?
I do. I play baseball.
That's
for
right.
us, too.
Do that.
I do.
Anything else?
No, I don't. I used to play wrestling, but I don't think I'm going to do it this year.
Why not? Come on, man.
Came with too much risk of injury.
Well, I get it. Wait, you play football?
Yeah,
What?
but it's definitely better to focus on. I think I'm going to focus on football
I
this
got
year.
you. I got you. All right. Now, I told the guys earlier, if you don't have a nickname, my partner, Michael Greg will give you a nickname regardless if you like it or not.
Yeah.
I say that just because I'll be the guy that will give you a nickname. You have nicknames. We love nicknames.
Yes, my nickname is J. Lou.
J. Lou. Okay.
They all started kind of calling me T Rich my sophomore year, and it kind of stuck. So
Nice.
T Rich, I guess.
I like it, T. Rich. I like it. Okay. Good deal. Pre-game ritual or routine?
Pre-game ritual, I like to walk around the field, and I'll take a prayer at each goalpost.
It's nice.
I always go find a spot by myself, listen to some music, and kind of zone in a dark room.
Are you going to pull the Ike, man? That you listen to classical too? No. You don't go classical?
No.
Okay.
Country music guy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that transitions us perfectly into the next song. What is your favorite song?
My favorite song.
Favorite hype song. 3 minutes.
Hype song?
Hype song.
Coach Tate, he's kind of put us on to some Kodak Black in the weight room, so I'll go with Cade, and I'll say Walk. We've been kind of lit by Kodak Black. We've been listening to him quite a bit.
I heard that from Caden earlier.
I'm going,
You going Kodak Black or you going different?
honestly, yeah, I think I'm going to go Kodak Black too. But
Come on, give me something.
Well, actually, I'll be listening to Gremlin a lot by Kodak Black before games.
Okay. So I feel like this team is a big fan of Kodak Black.
We are. I think
Okay.
Coach Tate started it for us, actually. Like, I never really heard anybody on our team really listen to it. And then we just listened to it in the weight room, and now everybody listens to it.
Fair enough. And that's how it happens. And if we want someone to blame, we blame Coach Tate, right?
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Fair enough, Coach. Fair enough. All right. You said you listen to country music. What's your favorite country music song right now?
Singer?
Tough question.
I say Hank Williams Jr. for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
80s country.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like new country. No, that's not country. My opinion.
No offense. No offense whatsoever.
Yep.
Absolutely. Does he make you listen to any country music? Do
No.
you listen to country music?
Sometimes I'll listen to Zach Bryan here and there.
Not bad at all.
I love listening to Summertime's Close.
Nice. So you don't even like Zach? You don't like Zach Bryan? No. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
I like the older stuff.
I got you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the older stuff. All right, guys, we got to roll. How important is a player's swag? Come on now.
I'll be honest,
Swaggy?
I feel like
Swaggy?
if you can look the part, you can play the part.
That's what I said. Yep.
I definitely like having accessories on. It kind of makes me feel like I got more attention to me. And it just helps me overall gameplay.
Look good, feel good.
Yes, sir.
Play good.
I think you look good and you play good. I agree with that. But definitely matters how you prepare through the week.
Yes,
Always.
absolutely.
You got to have a good mindset. Starts Monday.
Absolutely. Well
but
said.
a little swag don't hurt here and there.
It doesn't hurt.
Absolutely.
Doesn't hurt at all. All right, we got 1 minute. Let's random fire here. Best advice a coach has ever given you all. Best advice.
My my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't play a lot. And on my coaching staff, most of the people we have on our staff now actually came to me. They believed in me, and that's what kept me going, honestly. So keep going and never give up, no matter where you are.
Well said, young man.
You can always get there.
Well said. And I'm glad they told you that.
Yes, sir.
We're big fans.
Thank you.
Best advice?
My sophomore year, Coach Cunningham told me, me and Coach Cunningham had an altercation. When I entered the game, I got kind of hot-headed. And he had to pull me out. But when he pulled me to the side, he told me to listen to him, and he told me that there's no way I'm going to be able to go out here and make a play or make a decision if I can't even get my head on straight to make a decision.
Was he right?
Yes, sir. So
He was right, wasn't
he's
he?
always definitely told me, it stuck with me, is when you're out there, no matter what the situation, keep a calm head. Always think about next play. Don't let the play get you down if it goes wrong or goes good, no matter what. Always keep thinking about the next play.
All right. I've been given the wrap it up sign. Goals for the year. What you got? Come on. Goals for the year.
2K rushing.
Fair enough.
And
That's
go to state with my team.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Obviously, winning is the main thing. Always will be. But
Redemption from last year. Okay.
I'm glad that we're the group that kind of gets to restart the culture.
I like that, brother.
It's a new culture now.
I like it.
We're ready to play, so buy in. Like, we're ready.
Y'all need a 47-year-old man on your football team. You need a 47-year-old man. You got me fired up, ready to go. You don't need me. You don't need me.
We'll take you.
Guys, we appreciate you all very much. Looking forward to going down this road with you this season. Good luck. We will see you Friday night, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great season.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Lake Cumberland Sports Coaches Preview Show. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different reading services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you. Homes, farms, commercial properties, and investment properties from all over Kentucky. Where? FordBrothersInc.com. Just click on, go to upcoming auctions, and you will be amazed. You can just browse or register to bid, and you're set. You'll have a front row seat to everything that you're looking for, whether it's live or online. Check out FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wings and Rings for the 2026 Look at Football Annual High School Football Coaches Show. And we are to part 3 of our show tonight. And first of all, just want to say thank you to everybody that made their way out to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Still time to get out here. And if you've not had the pretzel bites, they're well worth it. Get a few extra jalapeno slices on there. And I apologize, Coach, because no breath mints. Oh. But anyway, I'm Bob Boone, joined now by new head football coach of the Pulaski County Maroons. I don't want to say new coach. He's been around a few years, but taking over the helm of this Pulaski County team. And congratulations, first of all, Coach Josh Roberts.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, it's good to have you here, and I know you got to be excited. Last year, the Maroons made a pretty impressive run deep into the well, about as deep as you can go. Yeah. You got to Kroger Field.
That's right.
And now you take over a team that expectations are high. What is it like for you transitioning from, because you called the offense last year, what has that transition been like for you coming in as the head man now?
Yeah, it's a new role, that's for sure. Sometimes it feels the same. You know, when I'm on the sideline and I'm calling offense, that feels pretty similar. Other times it's completely new. So it's been a great challenge. It's been exciting. It's a privilege to coach these guys. I mean, to be their leader and to be in charge of them. It's really special because they're so great. They're such great kids. But as far as it feeling new, like I said, sometimes it's like an old hat. I've done it for a long time, and then there's an email or a question or something that comes up that I have no idea about.
I am sure. Now, what about you still have some of your coaching staff from last year? Mm-hmm. What is that like? Because now you're their boss.
Yeah. A lot of these guys, quite a few of them I coached, So what that means really, though, is that we understand the culture. The language is the same. Right. There's a lot of continuity there. But as far as being their boss, they were all very excited for me to take this opportunity. And so they jumped right in, and they've been extremely helpful. They've all filled their roles very well. We're working together really well, a lot of good communication. I'm just excited about my coaching staff.
Well, absolutely. I think you've got a pretty good staff together, and we'll talk about those guys here in a minute or two. But wanted to, if we could, just recap a little bit about last year and how things evolved. And, of course, last year was a new coach, and there was a lot of – you knew the talent was there. You knew that Coach Burns had some coaching ability. It's his first time as a head coach.
Last year was his second year.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, still, coming in and, expectations were maybe not quite as high last year, but certainly made that terrific run.
Right. Yeah.
What was it like going through that as an OC?
So, just overall, looking into that season, prior to that season, we looked at our schedule. It was a difficult non-district schedule, and we didn't know where we would be when we got to the bye week. There could have been a lot of different outcomes, but we ended up 4-2, and we won some really good games. The Corbin game was a really good game for us, a big win for us. And at North Hardin was another tight slugfest that we pulled out. So we felt really good by the time we got to the dead period. 4-2, and our RPI was in a good situation. Then we got into our district play and did really well. Got into that last game. It was senior night for Bell County on Log Mountain. We went into the locker room and we were down and we weren't playing very well. And for me, that reflecting on last season was the moment things switched. You know, a couple weeks prior, we had lost our starting quarterback, and that kind of put us all in a little bit of a scramble mode.
Sure.
You know, and luckily Will Adams was willing to step up and took off running with that. But at that halftime locker room, you know, we really just kind of let it all out, and there wasn't any more pretending. There wasn't anything. No punches were held back, and we all came together that night and won in a double overtime at Bell County on senior night, which is not easy to do. And from that moment on, our players learned how to play for each other and care for each other. Didn't really worry about who got the success or the attention. You know, they became really focused on the main goal.
Yeah.
And made an incredible run through the playoffs and hosted that fourth-round game versus Atherton, who's incredibly talented.
Yes, sir.
You know, again, that's one of those when you're looking into matchups and you're thinking, oh, my, you know, the talent they have and the speed and the size they had. But we found a way to win. We developed a game plan, and our kids executed it and made it to the state championship where we played Owensboro, who was also extremely good, physical, fast, all the things you have to be a state champion. So to make it to the state championship, very excited. They were very excited to be there, but to not get it, you know, to be so close and not win, that feeling sticks with you. And it's definitely stuck with our players. And so it's been a main motivating factor for our team. And they want to get back there and they want to win it this time. So
kind of an unfinished business
absolutely.
mantra.
Yeah, and we don't hold anything back. I mean, we shoot for the state championship. You know, we have high goals and high expectations. We put those on ourselves, and we work hard every day to try to get there.
Kind of ironic, Somerset High School didn't quite make it to the state championship, played in the semifinals against Owensboro Catholic, and then you got Owensboro, who you guys, you know,
some good football
couple good
there.
football
Good
towns.
Good football towns.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
opposite ends of the state. Real quick, talk about your schedule this year. Very similar, obviously, because of, you know, you go on these 2-year contracts and such. And also just talk about, you know, RPI played an important role.
It does.
And a lot of people, you know, gripe about it, but it worked out in your favor last year.
Yeah, it's kind of new. You know, we're still kind of getting adjusted, but you're like you said, this is the year 2 of that 2-year schedule. Sometimes teams will play bowl games. It's really the only difference is, you know, you may play a different team in a bowl. Other than that, most of the games are pretty set in stone. And so for us, again, you know, we'll start at home versus Henderson County Friday night, 8 p.m.
We will be there, by the way.
That's right. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's there.
Myself, you got a new crew, not only a new head coach, you got a new Lake Cumberland sports crew, myself, and Coach Gilbert Wilson going to take a crack at football.
Just got to talk to him. It was great. I guess that's the theme around here right now. New athletic director, principals,
Yes, sir.
a lot of new coaches, you know, everything. But Henderson County will make that drive over. It's about a 3.5-4 hour drive. We played them last year. They're a 6A school. They're very similar to us in the style of they play. Great people over there. I'm very happy that they want to come over and travel. Then we go in week 2 to Boyle County for the Rebel Bowl. That's a big bowl game. It'll be a 5:30 kickoff, so hopefully we can get a couple clouds or so.
Exactly.
But LCA is a state championship. You know, they won the state championship last year. They've got a great quarterback, a really solid tight end. So they're a very well coached, and that'll be definitely a challenge for us. Then we get to host North Hardin, who, you know, I tell people they had a defensive tackle last year that was one of the best defensive tackles I've ever coached against. He wrecked the game for us, and we had to make some adjustments to get out of there. And so they'll come back in that week 3, and they'll be athletic, and they'll be well coached, and they get after it. And then we get to go to Corbin.
It just keeps getting easier.
Yeah, we'll go to Corbin. Yeah, that's like I said. You know, I told you last year when we were looking at that was the first kind of year of it, and that was looking at that non-district. We're thinking this could go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, it's great though. We want it that way. You know that.
Well, and again, back to RPI, it paid off because it allowed you to stay at home in that semifinal game.
Yeah, and it does affect the playoffs, and so the way things have shaken out, and as far as resizing of, you know, we're an Eastern Kentucky 5A school now. Really, I've been here long enough to remember there's an entire district in the mountains that doesn't exist anymore in 5A. You know, the Letchers and Whitley and Perry and all of those. So the the playoff picture changes. So yeah, you got to play the RPI game, and you want to play teams that are going to get wins. You want to beat teams that have good schedules to increase your RPI, and so you can set yourself up for a good playoff run. And it worked out really well for us playing these difficult teams and being able to come out 4-2. We were number 1 in the RPI when the playoffs began, and so we were able to host 4 games at home, and
That's big.
Yeah, it's huge in the playoffs, and so it really helped us, in a couple of those. But after we go to Corbin and that beautiful facility they have and play the
I'm excited to head over there.
I love going to Corbin. There's a lot of people that may talk about it, but I enjoy playing in Corbin. It's a great atmosphere. I respect that program very much. They put on a great show. They host a team very well. They've got great players. I think there's 3 Kentucky commits going to play in that game, and there's several other college players.
Sure.
It's going to be a high-level football game, just like a great Friday night should be. So after we play Corbin, then we get to host Johnson Central. So I think they were a third-round player.
I was going to say another great football program,
region championship level game. They're a different challenge for us. The style of play for them is not what we see typically. They're a more power style football, run the ball, and a lot of misdirection, so that causes some problems.
I'm a frustrated old Veer coach myself, so I'll probably, anytime
yeah.
you can line up and just try to push people
I love
around.
It. I do. It is nice when it's working. It's fun to watch for sure. And so they pose that challenge for us as far as in the preparation aspect of it. And then we have to travel to South Warren, who was in the 6A state championship game.
Yeah.
They're one of the best teams in the state. They've got 75 kids on their roster, and they were right there with Louisville Trinity last year. Very, very well coached. Chuck Smith and Brandon Smith are on that sideline, and so you got to be ready to go. But like we said, when we play teams like that, we find out what we're not good at, and we find out what our strengths, and we feel like it's a great way to prepare for that district and playoff run.
And learn a lot about your squad.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You and the kids want to do it. And that's
Absolutely.
the other thing. They don't want to play in the games that aren't going to be competitive. They want to be in those games that are going to be highly visible and seen a lot across the state and play good competition and see where they compare. So we're not about or afraid of a challenge, obviously. And then we just look forward to that bye week. Maybe we can rest up a little bit.
Going into district.
Yes, and that's a perfect spot for the bye week. We feel like once we get through that 6-week non-district to get to the bye week to be able to kind of recharge and rest and refocus, and then now put our sight on the district opponents. We start district play with South Laurel. We'll go over there, and they had a 9-win season last year. And when Coach Hines is doing a great job.
I was going to say, the guy that coaches over
know
there.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Had coached about 15 to 20 years with Coach Hines, and he's doing a great job at South Laurel. And then we'll go to host our North Laurel in the homecoming game there. They also won 9 games. They were in a second round.
Yep.
They both of those teams won playoff games last year. And then, of course, we'll go to Southwestern for that crosstown rival.
Always.
Which is, always a great game. You can put the records aside.
I know.
And
that we call that announcer cliche speak, but
it's true.
So true. I've seen so many in that game just totally flip from what you expect. And so, folks get out there and pack the place, and if you have to park half a mile away, it's okay.
That's right. That's what it's about. That's what we're doing all this for. Those are special moments, those Friday nights. Those are community events.
Yep.
And then they're even more special when you're playing a team that's from across town and all the kids know each other.
And Southwestern, a team that's got something they'd like to prove this year. That last year was an anomaly for that program.
Absolutely.
And we'll see. Of course, they got a coaching change as well.
And they'll get it turned around. That's just how it goes.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
all
we're
right.
good. I thought we went dead. Everything got
there.
really quiet for a second, but that's all right.
And then so after we finish with the Southwestern, we're out of district play, so we're only a 4-team district.
Yep.
And then we get to host Bell County with Coach Dudley Hilton. He's a legend. He's one of the winningest coaches of all time.
I was going to say he's 1 or 2
I think
or
so.
3. I know.
I think he may
had
be 1 or
Coach
2.
Hayden at Belfry.
Yeah.
And
he's a great guy, great coach. He's and with him, it doesn't matter. He's going to have a successful football team. He's going to find a way, to make them competitive with whatever he has. And they're just a class program, and so we love to be involved with them and get to play those guys.
Well, it is going to be a test for you guys, but as you said, good players, good coaches want good challenges. They like that challenge, and every week. And I was hanging around coaches, all these years. One of the coaches I remember saying all the time, Chris Oliver, when he was at Lindsey Wilson, would say, "You got 10 guaranteed, well now 11 guaranteed chances. That's it."
Yeah.
To win a high school football game or to win he said, think about that. You prepare, and that's why to me football is such an amazing game. You got 10 chances and you got to take them, each week. The goal is to win that game.
Yeah. All these other games, for the most part, they don't spend near as much time in practice that we do as football.
Right.
In basketball, there's more games, a little less practice. So football, there must be something a little wrong with this because we probably
We
are
love
practicing.
practice.
We're practicing in front of nobody, 80% of the time for
Yes.
but that's also what makes those Friday nights special,
Yeah. My son had a coach who always led a cheer, and I'd know one line in it that always got me was he would shout out, "We love practice," and the kids would come back, "We love football."
We love football, yeah. Right.
So that was pretty cool.
That's the constant challenge as a coach, is to
Yes.
keep kids
Keep 'em motivated.
keep them motivated and
Yep.
excited for practice.
Coach, talk a little bit about your roster.
Yeah.
You told me the other day that you're not as deep as you would like to be, that, you don't have the numbers you would
Yeah.
like to see. But, man, you've got some outstanding athletes coming back for the Marines
You're right.
this year.
You're right. And it feels like after talking to coaches from across the state, I feel like numbers is almost an issue kind of statewide. I don't know what that's causing or what's causing that necessarily, but, most coaches and a lot of them are a little concerned about the number of players on their roster.
I had a thought about that, and just sidebar for a second, and you'll find I'm really
Yeah,
good at
that's
that.
fine.
But you think about these kids now are the kids that were the COVID kids years
Yeah.
ago, and so they weren't out just playing, street ball, throwing a Nerf ball in the yard. They didn't get the activity, nor did they. They missed a year, almost 2 years of activity like that. I don't know. I'm not an expert, and I'm not trying to be political, but that I think has had an impact on where we are right now, and even in the in the working world, you see people, young people coming out. They're not quite ready because they missed a year or two.
Right, and I think there's a lot of factors that play into it.
Sure.
Because I've not been able to pin down one, but I think there's several factors that may impact participation. But yeah, we're about 52 players on our roster right now. So I've been with the program for 20 years or so, and I think we stay around 55 or 60. About 65 is probably more than most we've ever had. So we're slightly below that average of 55 or so, but we have 11 seniors on our roster.
It's a good number.
It is. It's a good number, and it's a great group. It's a great group of kids. Starting off with Boone Godby. Boone's been a Pulaski County boy. He's a Pulaski Elementary Mustang and Northern Middle Maroon, and he's going to start at outside linebacker and wide receiver. Just an outstanding player. He spoke at our banquet Sunday and was a great representative of our program. I was super proud of him. Cohen Finley's our next senior. Leader of the defense, and the Mike linebacker. He does all the communication and really the heart and soul of our program, brings the energy. He's the energy guy, and those two guys that I mentioned there have played together for a long time, and that helps. And that our kids know each other really well, and they have played together for a long time. Parker Burton is another senior. He's a wide receiver and a D end. Last year he was more of a linebacker, and he asked to kind of move down to D end. And he's taken to it like a fish to water. He's, I think playing in that spot has been really good for him. He's very excited about it. Kason Brock, most people will know that name.
We'll call that number a lot, I've been told.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, you're going to get that one. Gilbert needs to have his own little stat page.
He gets 2 columns for that, those,
right.
carry
Yeah,
columns. But
leading rusher in school history, and gets to come back for a year. That doesn't happen a lot.
No. He's going to set some records that may
That
never
hope-
be
right.
broken.
I'm sure that's what he
good
wants to
Lord
do.
willing, he stays healthy.
That's right.
It could be just an outstanding
I'm sure he
career.
wants to set a high number up there and keep it there for a long time. And so, as he makes it as a play caller, he makes it nice. He's bailed me out several times, and all these guys have really. I could even think back to Cohen making a catch in a game last year. 3rd and 14, it wasn't a very good call, and made a great play.
I remember hearing
You probably
it,
know what I'm
listening
talking
to
about.
it.
That's good players,
Yeah.
and that's what they do. Let's see who my next seniors. Let me find you next year. I don't want to skip anybody.
I get it.
Yeah. So Cade Hargis is another senior. buddy. I mean, the Hargis name is you may
It's
be
been
familiar
around a
with.
while. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And when I talk to him, it's unbelievable the history he knows about our program. He's our first year with us. He's a senior, but he hasn't played at all in his high school career. And we got him out after some convincing from some teammates. And I met with him after a practice or a game, and he was thinking about it, and we talked about it. And he's made his entire family happy, I know. And all the teammates took him in immediately.
Yeah.
And so super happy to have Cade and have another Hargis on the roster. I coached his brother, and so he came in and was just. I didn't know how well after being off for a couple years, and so he's a great example that an athlete can just come in and take off,
Yeah.
And he was able to just hit the ground running, and it was pretty impressive how quickly he was able to pick things up and get going. So Wyatt Finnison is our next senior. He's our senior kicker.
Really?
Bryson Mounts was our kicker last year, and he graduated, and we thought, well, what are we going to do?
You guys, have produced a lot of kickers over the years. You've had some outstanding kickers. And what a weapon that can be in high school football.
Yeah, it's very important, actually. It starts the game in a kickoff. Even if you can get a good kickoff and you can help your defense and set them up where the opponent has to drive 80 yards, 75 yards, it takes a good offense to be able to drive a ball 80 yards and score in high school. Especially if you have a good, strong defense.
Yeah, I think I told you the other day. That's my favorite play in football.
Kickoff?
Is the kickoff. Yeah, I love especially corner. You kick them in,
That's
between
right.
the numbers and the boundary.
You're gonna love watching our games.
And get it down there inside the 10 and just
we
cast a
don't-
wide net, but close it up fast.
That's right. We don't make any secrets. They know where we're going to kick it. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're going to kick it right down there, and we're going to run down there and sprint down the field, and and get after it. And it's a great way to set the tone. That's what
Yes, sir.
coaches say. But and we've kind of changed that as far as a philosophy. When Coach Burns came here, for years with Coach Hines, our strategy was always if we won the toss, we chose to defer. We wanted the ball in the third quarter. We wanted to kick off because we felt like we wanted to start the game with a good kickoff, run down, pin them deep, play good defense, and force them to punt, and then we'll get the ball. And then so that philosophy changed the last 2 seasons, and I was like, well, okay, I've never done this before, but we'll go with it. And so we told the players, if we're going to take the ball first, that only works is if you score first.
Yeah.
And so, to my surprise, we were very good at that. We scored first. We scored on our first possession. I feel like 9 or 10 times in the regular season. I mean,
That's
almost.
a heck of a number.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Almost every game when we got the ball first, which we did, we scored. So I'm going to tell our guys, we can't lose in the coin toss now. If we win the toss, then we're going to kick off, and go play defense and get after it. If we don't win the toss and they give us the ball, well, then we're going to go score. And that's so
Very
we
good.
can't lose the toss. But Wyatt came out. He's a soccer player.
Yes.
And so I thought, hey, and it's a great place to find a kicker.
Why not?
And he's been fantastic. He's juggling. He's still playing soccer, and we've been flexible with him to allow him to come in and try to do both. And so we're excited for him. He did great in our scrimmage Friday, and so he's going to be out there, and he's ready to go. I'm looking forward to it. Our next senior is Drake Willoughby. He's a transfer from Lincoln County. He's a linebacker, and he fit right in. I mean, you would think that he's been with us for his whole career. I mean, he's a scrappy player that loves contact and works hard. So he blends in with our mentality and our culture very, very well. So very happy to have him. Next senior is so this guy again came from Lincoln County. Actually, first day of school, he came to school and said, "Coach, I go to school here now, and I'd like to join the football program." His name's Bo Stoneanias. And so,
that'll be fun.
Right? Yeah, I'll point that one out, and I'll maybe do.
I'll have to practice
the
that.
pronunciation guide
Yes,
for that
sir.
one maybe. But Stoneanias, and he's had where he's just getting through the acclimatization of the helmets and the shoulder pad practices, but. He's came out and been really great and really physical in that inside run period the other day. Caden Williams is another senior offensive lineman. He came to us. He's been with us for a while now. He came from Berea. He's a young guy for his age, and he was a little behind, just coming from a smaller program and not having the competition to practice with on a daily basis. But the amount of improvement he's had really makes us wish we had him for another year or two because he's really getting it and figuring it out. And next, we have another lineman, Jamison Webb from Russell County, as a senior. He's 6'3", 268 today, I think. Great kid, great family. Again, blends into our program and buys into our culture. And I was telling someone, I mean, you know, it seems like there are more transfers now. It's just it's what it is.
It's
you
the
know.
nature of this business.
Right. But I don't remember in all the years I've been here, you know, we've always had a kid or two that would transfer in or, you know, however. But to have the amount that we have and to have them to be such quality kids that have quality families that, you know, aren't issues at all, you know, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, because you do have to worry about how is this going to upset, or, you know, potentially
Yeah.
upset the chemistry.
Right,
so,
right.
well,
And
good.
for them to be able to just seamlessly, you know, get in there with us, and our kids accept them and accept them into the family, and that, you know, I tell them all, and I tell all our kids, you know, especially a new kid though, that you know the team that we have, the guys that have been our core players, they respect hard work. You know, so you know if you'll just come in and work hard, they're going to respect you and accept you. You know.
Yeah.
And so those new guys, they took it and they ran with it, and it's been a really, really good. Our next lineman is I don't know I think his name's Brady Hull. Yeah, he's a senior.
He can play.
He might start.
Yeah, he might start. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fine football player.
Yeah, I think he started at left tackle for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, I think as soon as he showed up, he was the starting left tackle.
Just a little feller.
Yeah, little guy. But you know, he had a little injury in the summer. You know, he had a little.
Okay.
But it feels like that he's gotten over that, and we're good to go. He's full speed now. And last Friday, he looked like a Division I football player for sure. He was.
And he will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Proud that he's committed to University of Kentucky. Looking forward to those days, getting to cheer for him. And you know, and here's some a little random fact for you about Brady. Maybe you could call him Blueberry.
Really?
Yeah.
All
I don't.
right.
You know, that's just his nickname around. So
As long as he won't come up there and want to, you know.
well, you'll have to ask him. Maybe
Okay.
Get his permission. Maybe
I will get his permission.
Get
Yeah,
his family's
Mr.
permission.
Hall, can
Mr.
I?
Blueberry Hall.
All right. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. You want to talk about the juniors now?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Good. Let's see. First on the numerical roster, here's Will Adams. Will Adams, like I already mentioned, you know, I can still see Will's face at the North Laurel game when Zach went down, you know, and it was, you know, we were all just in shock, really. And I can see his face when he realized, all right, you know, I'm stepping up. It's my time. You know, he's taking his gloves off. And, man, he just hit the ground running and didn't flinch. And so for him to be able to step in and lead a team to a state championship at week 8 or, you know, of a season is pretty rare, pretty uncommon. But that just shows you the character that he has, the leadership qualities he has, the athletic ability he has. So we're very happy to have Will, and he can do it all. You know, I wouldn't tell you what position he plays because he could really play quite a few of them. Maybe not guard.
The proverbial Swiss Army knife.
Absolutely. He's going to return kicks. He could take handoffs. He could, you know, give handoffs. He can catch a ball. He can throw a ball. So he can do it all. Another player a lot like that is Winston Ford. Winston's dynamic, electric. You know, when just the thought comes to mind is when he has the ball, he's electric. You know, big things are going to happen. And last Friday showed that. You know, he had 2 big long plays, a 70-yard run, and then he broke a couple tackles on a 40-yard run. And so when he has the ball, it's watch out and pay attention because something's about to happen. He's probably pound for pound our strongest kid. Works extremely hard and takes care of his body, and it's showing. And so both of those guys are going to be all over the field. They're going to be the guys that probably play about as many reps as anybody, you know, and they're in great shape and super excited for their junior year. Rigo Cabrera is a junior. He's a kid that just came to us. He was a wrestler. He's played some other sports, and I think some of our players kind of got him out. And, you know, he's been what really impressed me was his basically his eagerness in the weight room. I mean, he gets after it in there. And so for a new kid to kind of show up and, you know, show some emotion and excitement in the weight room. And then he had some great plays in our scrimmage Friday. So, you know, excited about him as a junior, looking forward to seeing what he can be. We just got Connor DeBoard. He's another wrestler. You know, we love wrestlers on the football team.
I was going to say that's
it's a great sport.
Yes,
it's a great sport to go with football. And they learn so many things in wrestling that help them in football. So we'll take as many wrestlers as we can get. And he's another one that doesn't mind contact and will run and hit. And so we can find a spot for that kind of people.
Well, the days of the big old, what they used to call the big old dumb lineman doesn't work because
no.
football is a game of angles and
Yeah.
leverage and all of that. And that's
Yeah.
one thing I know wrestling teaches you as well.
Yeah.
I did both in high school. I was a horrible wrestler, by the way, but it was more because I couldn't dribble a basketball. So I decided, well, let's go try wrestling. But yes, it's a great sport. A lot of strength conditioning and wrestlers are some of the most conditioned athletes you'll
That's right.
ever find. People
Yeah.
think, oh, you're only out there 6 minutes.
No, but it's
Well,
nonstop, right?
It's
Yeah,
nonstop, and you
Yeah.
feel like you've played
Yeah.
3 football games.
Correct. Yeah, and so they have strong bodies, they're fit bodies, and they're in their contact. And yeah, like you said, there's the days of the slow linemen are really
No.
this game. Maybe there's a few offensive styles that you could possibly get away doing that, but not really.
No.
We tell our linemen, some guys need to add some weight, some guys need to lose some weight and slim up and get a little quicker. And then so yeah, that's
Footwork, angles, and technique.
Yeah, it's a faster game and a wider, paced game than it used to be, for sure. Our next junior would be, let's see where I find him, Tristan Bowling. And so I'm super proud about Tristan. As a sophomore in the end of the season last year, he got a lot of scout team reps, and man, that is the best thing for those younger guys, as sophomores and freshmen, is our scout team. They're going up against great competition, and if they take it serious and if they put their mind to it, it's not glorious. There's no. It's not. You're not going to be on a Twitter post or in a newspaper article or anything about playing scout team. But if you just decide to actually buy into it and work on your game versus good opponents. And Tristan's one of those who did that. And by the end of last year, he was starting to show some signs. We're like, well, he's really improving. Well, it carried over. And so in this summer and in his junior year, he's really, battling for a starting spot now. And this was a kid, was fighting on the scout team, and now he's pushing our DNs to start, and because he plays with the motor and he's not afraid of contact and has been going up against good competition. And so we're excited about Tristan Bowling. Blake Taylor is a starting lineman for us. He's been with us. He's one of the leaders of the team that's been right there for a long time, a Maroon, and hard worker, can play any position on the offensive line. He knows all of them. I think he could coach it. I think he will be a great coach if he wants to be, with just his understanding of the offensive football, and a big strong kid that works his butt off. And you'll see him on the defensive line too. So. Aiden Stringer is another lineman that we have that made a great play in the scrimmage game the other day. He'd been battling an elbow injury and just had got him back healthy. And then, in that scrimmage, he popped off and made a couple tackles for loss. We're like, wow, Aiden's, I think it's starting to click there. So super excited about what Aiden can do for us. We have another big lineman that we have is a junior. It's Connor Blevins. Connor's, a workhorse, was voted a team captain. Absolutely outstanding young man in every sense of the way. A leader in the locker room, leader on the field, hard worker, just like Blake, knows everything, has worked with our middle school program. I think it's just an amazing thing to watch when you see Connor working with our young kids and working with those guys. And, he knows he's a role model, and, man, he's a great one. Blake Gifford is another junior lineman that we have who's just gotten back from had a minor surgery, so he's been out most of the summer. But he just got cleared today, actually, his first practice. So
good news.
Yeah. I think he was really tired of watching, so it was great to see that Blake got his helmet on and got to get out there. Andrew Ordonez is another junior lineman that we have. A hard worker. He's like, the team just loves to support Andrew. He brings the energy and the excitement. And there's always something Andrew's doing that just puts a smile on your face, and we're happy to have him. I didn't want to mention, but so most of those juniors that we said were offensive linemen, and I did want to bring up, I was looking at this, and I hadn't even looked at it all year, really, but I was looking today, I was like, my goodness, we're kind of big. And so I looked at our offensive line's average size is 6'3", 280. And I don't know, I
that's
feel
small
like
college offensive
that's
line.
right, and I don't know why, I hadn't thought of it, but just looking at them today, I thought, that might be about as big as we've had. Okay, he was trying to get me, and I can remember.
We got about 5 minutes, here,
left.
so we want to run through your underclassmen.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a few of those. Those are our biggest classes, our sophomores and freshmen for sure.
Okay.
You'll see sophomores. We've got Everest Whitaker, Will Hornsby. A lot of these guys are on our JV team that just won the other day. They played a great game. Everest is is working hard. He's gotten better. We've put him in a lot of different spots and different positions, but I think we found him a home at outside receiver and strong safety. Will Hornsby plays our slot receiver, can do a lot. Let's go just down the list here. Cam Fitzgerald's a freshman. I call him Baby Buckus. He's a middle linebacker, and, man, he's making plays, and he's exciting to watch. I'm really excited to see him grow up and see what he can do. Charlie Turner is an ex-receiver for us. He caught a nice ball in our scrimmage. He's long, rangy, and fast. His brother was a hurdler at Somerset. He can really go. Maddox Morgan's a freshman running back. He gets that job of the scout team running back. And, man, if you want someone to get better, you put them there because they go through the fire, and he's really showed. He had a couple great runs. We've got Caden Simpson is a sophomore who played outside linebacker and running back. He had an interception in our scrimmage on a play that we hadn't prepared for, and he still made a great play. We've got Tremont Bryan is a starter that you'll probably see on the field there. He'll start at defensive end, maybe some tight end. We're just, he's new to our program. Big physical kid that has a lot of potential, and we're very excited about Trey. Brody Coleman and Maddox Farrell are two sophomore linemen. Brody will be out there a lot. He rotates into the lineman positions. Maddox coming in at linebacker. Skylar McClendon, JV offensive lineman and defensive end. Let's see. Alec Whitehead Alec's in the band also. So
awesome.
Yes, I know. We're all for it.
I think it's great.
And totally support it. But he goes back and forth a couple of days a week. And, so we're working and being flexible with him and trying to get him involved as much as we can. Calvin Fletcher's there every day and works hard. He's a freshman lineman. Super happy to have him. Simon Gregory and Brian Ramirez and Kristen Sanchez, all three are freshman linemen. So we have some great young linemen learning from our older guys, and watching those guys develop. And Bryson Johnson and Mason Mayfield and Caleb Bryson is a baseball player we just got out. Excited about that. He fills a spot for us, and our depth in the young kids is not great. So to have a young corner like Bryson is really helpful. And that really tallies up our roster.
Pretty good. Sounds like you got a bunch. Couple of things I noticed. You talked a lot about kids and how hard they work, and not just on the field, but in the weight room and that. And I've always admired, Pulaski County has always promoted the work, on social media and stuff about your kids and the hard work they do, because a lot of times championships are won, in that preparation. And Rick Gallus, former Indy 500 champion race car owner, always had a saying. He said, everybody has the will to win. But he says very few have the will to prepare to win.
That's
and
right.
It sounds like you guys have that will.
Yes,
so
sir.
I hope you can carry that on. Talk to me real quick. We got a couple of players going to talk to us here in a little bit, but your coaching staff go through the
Yeah.
I'm going to ask them some questions about you, though.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see. I mean, they know nothing's off limits. Let it go. So defensively, that's Tyler Stone. Tyler Stone will be our defensive coordinator. He's been in the program. He was a great linebacker for us a long time ago. He has, he's in that field house working all the time right beside me, and great to communicate and takes instruction and asks questions and has that passion for defense. And so I'm excited to have him. Darren Meese is our offensive line coach. So, there's a lot of continuity there. He's been coaching linemen at Pulaski for a long time. He knows what he's doing, and he's put together a quality offensive line for quite a few years. Jackson Mobley is in the same position he was last year. He's our special teams coordinator. Again, that's another coach that I coached. He was an outside linebacker then. He's coaching the special teams, and he likes to tell the stories of when he played, and the kids listen, and so he's got a great role model. Ethan Holt is one that's new to our staff this year. He was on the middle school staff last year, but he's come up to coach the defensive line. And he beats me to the field house sometimes. I'm in there about 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m., and he's there too. So, he helps with our young guys in the weight program and on the defensive line. We brought in Dean Hamblin. He's kind of new to the area. I think he's been here a couple years, but he's working with our secondary and our receivers. And his passion for the game is really great. It's really helped. It's kind of contagious, and that's what we need. Coach Jacob Gross is what we call the DOFO, Director of Football Operations.
All right.
Okay, it's nothing wrong. But couldn't do it without him. The amount of questions I send him, sometimes I wonder if he's going to answer the phone, but he always does, and he can make it happen. The amount of random things that I ask for him to find, and he gets it. And then he works. He's our JV offensive coordinator. He understands our offense very well, and as it shows, like I said, they're off to a 1-0 start and rolling. Daniel Ruckel was with us as a first year under Coach Burns. He wasn't with us last year, and then I brought him back, and he's got a wealth of experience, and he brings that edge to him that he can get on a kid when they need to, and he understands it. Jabril Seiler was very familiar with our players. He coached them in Northern, but this is his first year on our staff, and once he learned our schemes and picked up on what we were doing, he's off and running now, and the kids love it. Trevor Reidner has been in our program again. This is a coach that I coached. He understands how to communicate to us and understands what we want. I brought in Coach Gordy Prather for a new role. He's been our team chaplain for a long time. He has his CrossFit gym right across the street from us, which has been great. And his knowledge of strength and conditioning and leadership and mentorship has been invaluable. And so he's there working with these guys just as much as anybody else. And then Coach Tyler Ball he's with us when he can, and the game wouldn't take off on a Friday night without him. It's not like it used to be where you just set up a VHS tape.
I get it.
The amount of technology that goes on in a Friday night game now, and he's the expert on that. So we have a great staff, and everybody knows their role, and it's quite a lot to put on, but we're making it happen.
Anybody else before we bring in your players that
No,
you
sir.
want
I
to just
think
give
these are the stars of the show right here.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun talking
Yes,
to
sir.
them. Coach,
Yeah.
looking forward to
Yeah,
Friday night.
I'm
Thank
looking
you
forward
for
to seeing
spending
you.
time with us, and we're excited about Maroon Football 2026 Friday night out at Pulaski County. If you've never been there, you need to go. It's a great
come on.
setting for high school
It is.
football, and then you can go home and watch the replay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, watch it out. But we're
There
happy
you
to
go.
have you, and we're excited to have you along.
Well, thank
the ride
you,
for us.
Coach. Appreciate it. That's Josh Roberts, head coach. The new guy, sort of, kind of, at Pulaski County High School, and we're going to bring in these guys.
Yeah.
So if you want to come forward, and I'll let you pass off a headset. Hello, hello. Hello, guys.
Howdy.
How are you?
Good. Can't
Well,
complain.
good. Well, welcome. I may or may not have talked to you before. I may not have gotten your names before. If I forget, please don't hold it against me. I'm an old man. But so what I'd like for you all to do, introduce yourselves, give us your name, what year you are, position, and tell us what your number you're going to wear this year.
My name is Kason Brock. I'm the class of 2027. I'm a running back and safety, and my jersey number is number 8.
You're an awful big dude to be a running back and a safety. You were an offensive tackle when I played. Thank you, Kason. Good to have you.
I am Boone Godby, number 0, class of 2027, linebacker and receiver.
All right, very good. Let me tell you, I got several questions here. Not going to have time to get all of them in there, but just want to get to know you guys a little bit. So, do you have a nickname?
It's like a childhood nickname. It's Ronnie. I got it from Darren and Drew Polston.
Okay. Is there any meaning behind that?
Not really. There's no
Okay.
story behind it. I don't know really where they got it from.
All right. Well, very good. How about you, sir?
My dad, he calls me Tuddles.
Tuddles.
When I was young, I used to watch Mickey Mouse, and they'd come on and say, "Oh, Toodles," and I used to say, "Oh, Tuddles."
All right. Well, very good. Let me ask you guys, of course, you went through this coaching change, but how much of a change has it been for you?
Honestly, I mean, we stepped into the role really well with it. I mean, the switch was pretty smooth. It was a little awkward, at first going through it, but, after a week or so, we picked up right where we left off, and there's no.
I've heard a lot of good things about this team, but the individuals on this team and how they've come together. What about you, Mr. Gobby? Anything that's,
We got a lot of great leadership, players-wise. So, we all kind of stepped up, took control. No, there's no change really. It's still the same mindset. We want to go back to Kroger Field and go win this thing.
Coach Roberts mentioned when I talked to him a little bit ago about halftime at Bell County. He said he felt like that moment in that locker room was a turning point for the team last year and is carrying over into your preseason so far. Do you agree with that? And if so, why? Or if not, tell me why not.
For sure. I think it definitely was. I mean, when we got in that locker room at halftime, we got our butts ripped hard, and I think that really set off, a mindset that we're not going to let no one push us around, and we're going to play every moment like it's our last. So that's what we did the rest of that season, and that's what we're going to keep doing this season.
Sounds fantastic.
I think we really just realized how much fight we really had in us. We dug down deep there in that second half and came out in 2 or 3 overtimes, and we took care of business.
Baseball players get a walk-up song. Football players have pregame music. Sometimes maybe the early warm-up session, you can wear your headphones or earbuds, I don't know, or when you're stretching and things like that. What kind of music do you like to listen to get yourself hyped up for that game? Or do you like to listen to something that calms you down a little bit?
I like to listen to rap. I like to get hyped up before the games and stuff. I like to, be ready. I'm ready to go out and, play hard when I come out.
Can you rap yourself?
No.
Okay. Is he telling the truth, or is he pretty good?
He can rap.
Can he?
Yeah,
All right.
Good freestyler.
What kind of music do you like to use?
I like rock music.
Yeah?
I like Metallica and Kid Rock. Big Kid Rock guy.
All right, sounds good. I like a guy that's a little old school. I saw Metallica when they were the 3rd band listed on a bill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were the warm up to the warm up band. So that's how old I am. But anyway, so Coach also talked about you guys have got a lot of young people that have come up. Pretty good sized underclassmen staff. What kind of advice do you give these young players as they come up?
Play hard and be coachable. We have the players coming up. We have great talent. The freshmen we have, they're contributing. They're going to see, a lot of playing time and stuff. So, I just want them to play hard and just don't worry about the mistakes they make and just go on and be coachable.
Be coachable. Good advice.
Kind of like he said, they just can't be scared to mess up. And if they do mess up, just do it at 110% effort.
If you go back this season, get a chance to listen to me, you'll probably hear me use the phrase, it's time to get a case of amnesia. Mistakes do occasionally happen,
right,
but you
yeah.
can't let it carry
keep
through
going.
to the next play. And either of you play baseball?
No, sir.
Not at all? Because I always talk about baseball.
Yeah.
The best baseball players are successful 1 out of 3 times. Yeah. If you get 1 yard out of every 3 carries, that's probably not going to, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you've got to be willing to keep going forward. Great advice for these young guys. What other sports do you like to play, or have you played?
Basketball. I played a little bit of basketball when I was younger.
Not anymore.
No, not
Fully
anymore.
focused on football. What do you like to
Sure.
do outside of football?
I like to golf and hang out with my buddies.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about
Now,
it.
golf, are you a really good golfer,
No.
serious golfer,
No.
or do you go there to laugh?
Oh no, I'm there to laugh and have a good time.
All right. How about you?
I used to play basketball back in middle school, and I'm actually coming out back this year for my senior year and playing.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, good. That'll be a lot of fun, and I look forward to that. All right. All right, what we're going to do now is wrap it up with you guys. We got some more of your teammates to come in here and chat. I appreciate both of you.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to Friday night. We'll see you
talking
then.
to you.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thank you. It's awesome. I'm getting instructions sent to me. And you in this business, you got to be a lip reader, because they're over there and they're giving you hand signals and all of that. Welcome, gentlemen. Geez, ow, I feel little. This is awesome. This is the smallest I've felt in a long time. Got a couple of big guys up here, and gotta love it. Let the folks know who I'm talking to, what year you are, position, and what number you're going to wear this season.
My name is Brady Hall. I play left tackle, and I'm class of 2027, and I'm a senior.
Senior, what number you wear, Brady?
71.
71. All right. We'll be looking for you. Real quick, left tackle, why is that so important?
Blindside.
There you go. For those of you that don't know football, when the quarterback's looking to the right, because most quarterbacks are right-handed, he's the guy that's got to protect him from getting hit from the backside.
That's right.
And if he doesn't do his job, he hears about it, don't you?
most of the time.
From the quarterback?
All the time, actually.
And the coach. All right. And you, sir?
My name is Jameson Webb. I am class of 2027. I'm the center.
Okay.
Be wearing 54.
54. Okay. Now, center. Why is that position so important? We all know you got to snap the ball, but what else does a center do? Is that all they do?
No, you got to know most of the time what people are doing around you, so you can work off of them.
Okay. A lot of football teams, the center makes the calls for the offensive line. Is that your job to recognize or at least communicate with the other guys?
Especially this week, it is a big job for just center and guards, really, because with Henderson, they are blitzing linebackers a lot. So we really got to keep our eyes up and keep communication across the line.
Very good. All right. So, how many years have you guys been playing football?
I've been playing since I'm 4 years old.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Long career.
I've loved every bit of it.
Good deal. Good deal. Did you start out young?
Yeah, I started out probably about 5 or 6.
Okay. So, do either of you have nicknames?
I do. I might go by J-Mo.
J-Mo.
Yeah.
I'll try to remember that, if with your permission.
No, it's all right.
Because I don't want to use it and then have you angry at me.
No, I've been called that since I was in elementary school.
All right, J-Mo, very good.
A lot of guys, most of the guys call me Blueberry.
I've heard that rumor.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you is can I use it on the air?
Go ahead. I don't really.
All right, Mom and Dad won't care?
No.
Okay, because I heard that was, but I wasn't going to use it without your permission.
I just like everything blueberry. Blueberry donuts.
Blueberry pie is my favorite. I don't even want cake for birthdays.
great.
I want a
There
blueberry
it
pie.
is.
There you go.
My type of guy right
That's
there.
all right. Well, maybe we'll have one after we celebrate a
There you
state
go.
championship
I like to
this
hear
year.
that. That's awesome.
All right. Tell me about your all-time favorite moment in playing high school football.
I'd probably be back because I transferred in from Russell County.
Okay.
We had just came off. It was a rough game, but we came back and we beat one of our rivals in a game pretty bad. One game that would probably be the highlight.
All right.
I'd probably say what a lot of them are saying is a state championship last year. Just to get to experience that and get a feel about it and just get a little taste, and then we're going to finish this thing this year. So.
All right. We talked to the other guys about this hype music. We all like to, a lot of players love to get hyped up with some good music.
Yeah.
What's your music of choice when you're getting ready for, getting ready to strap it up on Friday night?
I mean, if it's like a away game, I like to just chill on the bus and like listen to some like country. But like if we're playing home, I'm juiced up all the time, so I'll play rap music because I play the music in the locker room. So.
Oh, you're in charge.
Yeah.
All right.
Most of the time.
Most of the time?
But yeah.
Who's going to argue with you about it?
Probably nobody.
What about you, J-Mo?
I'm a big rock guy.
Yeah? What kind of rock?
I'm in Metallica. My favorite song is
Oh,
probably,
you're the second Metallica guy up here tonight.
I like Enter Sandman a lot. Really.
That's one of the all-time greatest walkout songs, hype songs, stadium anthems. Very good. You rock. I told the other fellas that I actually saw Metallica back in 1985.
Wow.
They were the third band on the list. They warmed up for everybody. They had to use everybody else's equipment. That's how it was. But good deal. If you could describe yourself, okay, and I might say one word, but I'll open it up. Just what will people say, or what do you want people to say about you?
Mainly that I'm a hard worker, because as I mentioned, I transferred in, and I didn't come in here expecting anything. Like, I didn't expect a starting spot. I didn't expect a spot on scout team. I came in here, and I wanted to work as hard as I could for as long as I could, and I feel like I've proven myself that I will work hard, especially over here.
And earn that spot.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
I'd say my mom tells me this all the time, and she says that people are not going to remember how you play; they're going to remember how you treated them. So I just want to be a good guy off the field and on the field. But yeah, I just want to be remembered as a good guy, good at football. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, Friday night, we're going to be out there. It's our first video cast of the season, so we're excited about that.
Sure.
And just want to say, looking forward to seeing you guys out there at
Yes,
PC
sir.
Field.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one.
We're going to bring in last couple of players here from Pulaski County. This young man looks like he just got done working outdoors in the fields.
It's the only way to live life.
Absolutely. I'm with you, partner. All right. So if both of you, as you get the, you got to flip that over a little bit. Yeah, there you just flip it this. Oops, hold on.
It's a good
There
thing you
you
can play
go.
football.
See, I'm not good at this technology stuff.
So what you're saying, technology's not your gig?
The technological equipment is not my gig.
Okay.
I can handle a phone and stuff, but like I can't fix it.
Okay. I get you. Introduce yourselves if you don't care. Let us know what year you are and what position and what jersey number we're going to see you this year so the fans can look for you.
So my name's Connor Blevins. I'm a junior this year. I'll be playing left guard on offense, nose guard on defense, and then I'm wearing number 72.
Very good.
I'm Will Adams. I'm a junior. I wear number 7, and I'm an athlete.
An athlete, yeah. That's
Me too.
Well, there was a day when a lot of times it was because they couldn't find a place for you. And I understand that, we might have to start calling you Swiss Army knife because you can fit so many different roles on the team. And, of course, last year, most know that followed the Maroons, you stepped in at quarterback after, and went on to have a pretty good year. So there's nothing wrong with that. Speaking of nicknames, so what do people on the team call you? If I call you Swiss Army knife, would that offend you?
You do whatever you want, but
don't say
guys,
that.
guys on the team, they call me Wild Bill or Billy. That was a middle school nickname.
Really?
Yeah. Coach
Okay.
G.J. Woodridge gave me that one in
All
6th
right.
grade. So
All
it's
right.
stuck.
Wild Bill.
Yep. I like
Okay.
Wild Bill a lot.
All right. Sounds good.
I guess since 6th grade, people have called me Grizz.
Okay. I've heard that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because you
that's-
played basketball as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to give it up this past year, but I've played it for the majority of my life.
Okay, all right. Well, and I'm not busting your chops about the overalls. I actually like them, and every time I go to get a pair, my wife says no. She says I'd look ridiculous.
It's the most
I don't
practical
think,
thing
I
ever.
know it. I know. I agree. I love them. So I might just show up at a game this year.
We
In
can
your
match.
honor, Chris, I may show up and.
That's what I like to hear.
All right.
You see me wearing mine on game day too.
Very good. So, tell me about what's been your most memorable moment playing football, and particularly, for the Maroons or in your high school era.
Playing at Kroger Field.
Yeah.
Just being with teammates that I've grown up with since day one, and we just reached that goal, but we didn't accomplish the goal that we wanted, and it just gave us a taste that you can't make up anywhere else.
So I mentioned this to Coach Roberts, kind of gives you that unfinished business mantra coming
That's
into
right.
this season.
Yeah.
Very good. How about you, sir?
So for most people, they're going to say Kroger Field, and that was a great experience. But I just wanted to say sort of last season in general, because the turnaround that we made from the year, my freshman year, and even the year that I was in 8th grade, the whole turnaround we made last year, going 12-3 instead of being 8-4 or 8-5 and whatever. It was just such a cool moment to see not only the team turn around, but see the community get behind us. Because you would see more people show up at each game every time we won another game, just get to see everybody rally behind us.
And that's what a lot of fun. And we encourage folks to get out there to the game. Yeah, we show it on video, but we can go back and watch it. Technology's great. Okay. Very good. I appreciate you guys sharing that with me. You've got a new coach this year, but he's not really new, is he?
No, sir. He's been around for a long time.
A long time.
Emphasis on that, yeah.
What has it been like, though, in that changeover? Have you noticed anything different about, not necessarily in the way he does things, but different about just, the change in head coaches?
Yeah, Coach Roberts, he's always been around, like you said. The turnover from him to Coach Burns was an easy transition that us players were expecting and ready for. And he was our OC the past 2 years, and he's done great. And so the turnover there in the offensive scheme's been great as well, and he's kept the tradition going as long as it can.
Sounds great. Any Coach Roberts-isms? Is there anything he does? He's not going to know this. He can't hear standing back there.
There's nothing really that comes to mind off the top of my head, but just he shows up to practice every day with the same energy and more energy than the players do a lot of times. He's ready to go, ready to get after it every day. And, speaking on the turnover, I've been playing for Coach Robert since I was in 6th grade. And so it's cool to get to continue to play for him and him be the head coach now.
That's going to be something. That'll be a memory you carry for a long, long time. And to me, that's what high school athletics is all about, the memories you create. What would you tell these young players as they're coming up, especially, where you've been around a couple years now, and what kind of advice do you give them?
Enjoy the journey. Just enjoy every moment, every chance you get to be on that field with your guys, and be coachable and be accountable for your actions, and just be ready to go at any given time.
Very good.
Just always show up and be willing to work. I've always heard the saying since I was in middle school, no one cares, work harder. And, a lot of times you're going to face adversity, you're going to face tough things. But at the end of the day, you just got to put your head down and keep working regardless of what goes on.
Sounds like some solid advice. Guys, I appreciate you taking the time to come up here and talk. Can't wait till Friday night. It's going to be a good time. You might see me during warm-up a little bit. I like to wander around out there in the field and look like I'm important when I'm not.
We'll be looking for you.
All right. Well, we'll be out there, and it's going to be a good time. And that is going to be, I believe, is that a 7:30 kickoff? I don't have 8 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on the air at 7:30 with our pregame show. Video game of the week on Lake Cumberland Sports. Don't forget, too, on Friday night, Southwestern travels to Glasgow. That will be an audio broadcast. You can check that out at lakecumberlandsports.com. And then Saturday night, busy night, we're going to have a second video game as some old friends from up the road, just, down the road on State Road 90, coming up from Wayne County to take on the Somerset Briar Jumpers. So want to say thank you to everybody here at Buffalo Wings and Rings. We appreciate them and their hospitality, all of our coaches for coming in, our players for talking. I also appreciate all of our staff that's here, and Jeremiah and Pat and Nick's here as well. We got others. And most of all, I want to say thank you to Kevin Lloyd. He's the guy that writes the checks. And so we're especially thankful to him for all that he does in giving us this opportunity. We'll see everybody on